Oh, no, it's nothing. Anyways, we're live, so we're good.
Ooh.
Whenever you want to go.
All right. Did you get the link?
Yep.
I sent it over. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, get into the recap from last time. It was like May. I think the state's wrong. I think it was May 3rd. But last session, number 75, was called Crypts, Golems, and Unicorn Farts of Ancient Tomes and Unexpected Brides. Tucked away in the seclusion of Strahd's study, the group found themselves engrossed in a plethora of ancient tomes. The scholarly dwarf Ragnar absorbed the details from the Tome of Strahd with impressive fervor. Spargle bounced around with anticipation over of possible revelations, while Juniper peeked over Ragnar's shoulder, hoping for pretty pictures. Meanwhile, Alaric gazed in awe at his literate companions as Deckard faked studiousness by engrossing himself in dragon's breath and unicorn farts, the odors of Barovian creatures. The information that Ragnar mined from the tome was a chilling cocktail of fascination and terror. Strahd had harbored an impassioned love for Tatiana 300 years earlier, a woman who held an uncanny resemblance to Irina. Strahd had managed to blend in with the populace using the alias of the familiar character Vasily von Holtz. Ragnar exposed Strahd's fratricidal act against Sergei, Tatiana's betrothed, and revealed the Wachters of Valaki's allegiance to the notorious vampire. He also uncovered Strahd's sinister pact with death itself. Strahd, despite his terrifying power, feared sunlight and was ensnared within his own domain by the enveloping mists of Barovia. His wrath was evident in the destruction of Berez, a village that attempted to shield another woman bearing a striking resemblance to Tatiana. Finally, Ragnar surmised that the newly acquired Sun Sword was a significant weapon against Strahd. After some deliberation, they decided to bring the tome with them, heedless of the risk of alerting Strahd. They agreed to probe deeper into the castle's mysteries. Deckard and Alaric led the exploration, delving into the stairwell's shadows. As they descended, eerie suspense trailed in their wake as they treaded softly down the long, spiraling staircase. While the group deliberated on their next steps, Juniper's sharp ears detected a faint whimpering from a nearby room. Spargle, spurred by curiosity, pressed his ear against the door, capturing the faintest hint of movement within. Preparing for potential combat, he readied his fireball spell, his fingers smoldering. With a blend of caution and intrigue, Ragnar and Juniper attempted to sneak a peek of the room's interior using a polished silver dagger reflected under the door. They discerned the flickering of candlelight and a layout that suggested a bedroom. Gathering their wits, they cautiously opened the door, revealing not a lurking threat, but a young woman clad in a nightgown, sprawled across a plush bed surrounded by opulence. Caught off guard by the unexpected intrusion, she clutched her sheets protectively, her eyes wide with surprise. It was clear that she was anticipating Lord Strahd, or perhaps his servile minion Cyrus Bellevue, rather than a group of unforeseen intruders. Quick to improvise, Ragnar introduced himself as part of the new cleaning staff. He initiated a casual conversation with the woman, who appeared rather enamored with Lord Strahd and was eagerly anticipating his return. Spargle and Thoradin played along with Ragnar's quick-thinking ruse, though Spargle's clumsy attempts at pretending to tidy up nearly blew their cover. Thoradin, the seasoned cleric, it's not true. Thoradin, the seasoned paladin, cleverly diverted the woman's attention with his skillful maneuvering around the room, busying himself with cleaning duties. The woman, showing a hint of arrogance, requested wine and bread. Spargle reassured her that they would promptly return with her desired refreshments. With that, they carefully retreated from the room, leaving the lady in her luxurious solitude. The investigation had taken an unexpected twist, leading them down a path lined with more questions than answers. While their companions were engaged in social subterfuge above, Alaric and Deckard ventured deeper into the castle. The atmosphere grew increasingly ominous as the lower they went, with chilling dampness creeping in. Descending another staircase led them to a long hallway, and yet another led them further in the castle's bowels. Eventually, they arrived in a room teeming with discarded clothes. Deckard discovered a hidden treasure, a sack of Electrum coins beneath a loose flagstone. They then rejoined the group upstairs. Meanwhile, Spargle had stumbled upon another spiraling staircase descending from Strahd's study. Deckard rushed down the steps, revealing a room containing a massive hourglass and a peculiar brazier. The hourglass's sand was strangely suspended in the upper chamber, and a cryptic verse in common adorned its base. 2 imposing statues of knights on horseback stood sentinel next to it. Their exploration was interrupted by a disturbance in the castle's courtyard below. Juniper, blessed with exceptional hearing, was the first to discern the commotion. To gain a better view, she cleverly transformed into a mouse, with Ragnar playing along by pretending to chase her through the room and into the courtyard. The sight that met their eyes was astounding. The abbot, whom they had assisted earlier in acquiring a wedding dress, arrived at Castle Ravenloft with his bride, a grotesque flesh golem he had painstakingly crafted for Lord Strahd. The abbot presented his creation to Strahd, who appeared alongside his entourage. However, the situation quickly deteriorated. Strahd derided the bride and berated the abbot. With a simple gesture, he obliterated the flesh golem, leaving the abbot in a state of shock. Strahd ordered him to return to the abbey and continue his macabre experiments on the Bellevues. As the abbot retreated, Strahd cackled maniacally, disappearing into the castle's depths. The day's events had starkly unveiled Strahd's ruthless nature, adding another layer of menace to the looming threat they were yet to face.
That last image is awesome.
Yeah, that's the abbot with his construction and his gown, dress.
I gotta say, the abbot did pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I think Strahd's being a little picky.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take one of those at this point.
Yeah, how do I get one?
That spiraling staircase, and then the picture of the girl that's out of the book. That's Gertruda.
Oh, cool.
So that's the girl we're talking to.
Yeah,
In the bedroom. Okay.
Right. Yep. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Which map's which here? Okay. Hey, you know what, Adam? I was looking. I noticed on the stream that I think this thing that I showed you, or that I kept alluding to, yeah, the teleportation circle. I kept saying, "Oh, it's right there. It's right there." I didn't realize it. I could only see it until I watched the stream. So you see the little purple circle?
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Do you see it now? You guys see it now on the map? Yeah, that was where you guys teleported in initially.
Okay.
I screwed that up, so now you know. And Deckard and Alaric, you guys ran back upstairs, right? Like everybody's back together now, pretty much in the study.
I think so, right? I think we went down, and then you're right. We did. We came back up because I went down further, didn't I? A little bit, and then stopped, and then came back up.
Right.
And I told everybody about the brazier and everything, and the stones, and
yeah. We'll assume that you did. That you regrouped. You told them that. Juniper and the others, and then you got. By the time you got up there, you heard the whole exchange with the abbot. And then, so you guys watched that all happen. Strahd and his attendants turned around and went back into the castle as the abbot walked across the bridge to Ravenloft and left. Hi, Matt.
Where did we have the text that kind of gave us some clues to that hourglass? There was something.
Yeah, I don't know if I shared it, but I don't know if that stays in your. There we go. Yeah, so I can show it again. Did it pop up?
Yep.
There we go. Okay.
And then I think there's a way that it's like in your inventory now once I share it. So I don't know if you can find it or if I have to do something else, but there should be like under your assets, the handout hourglass inscription if you ever need to reference it later. And that was down quite far. That was down so there were basically 2 sets of spiral stairs. Right, there's the one that Deckard and Alaric went down first, and they went down a couple series of them, and they went down like a floor and saw a hallway, went down another floor, and that's where Deckard found these piles of laundry and a loose stone and found some coins. And then Spargo, you went down this set of staircases here, right off of the study. There's like a smaller doorway with like a tighter, smaller spiral staircase.
Yeah,
that one winds way down, like a few floors. You're not sure, and that's where you saw that's. And then Deckard ran past you and saw the hourglass and stuff.
Okay.
So it's down the. If you want to get back to the hourglass, it's down these stairs.
Okay.
And that's where we're at. Are you good, Matt, on your internet?
It's doing that thing where it like cuts out every so often for like 30 seconds and then comes back, but this is the best it's gonna get, I think.
Are you on your phone or are you lumping it all?
No, I'm on my PC. I think I need a new power supply. I think that my power supply is just like not enough. I think it's like dying.
That's not a fun thing to replace because it's plugged into so many damn things too.
Mhm.
Oh, unless you have a newer power supply that has the modular cables, then it's really easy.
I do have one of those, so I might be
Oh,
able to
that's
do
not
that.
Mm-hmm. I know this guy Joe you can call.
Yeah, it's a little hard to get in touch with sometimes, but yeah, he's pretty good.
Knows a lot about tankless water heaters. I'll tell you that.
But yeah, wankless totter heaters.
That
Yeah.
guy's a fucking mastermind.
All right, so that's where we're at. You guys are back, sort of in the study, or rather, you're kind of on the balcony outside of the bedroom of the young lady, or the bedroom that has the young lady in it. What do you guys want to do?
The girl's in the room with us, right? We're in the room with her right now.
Yeah,
whole-
yeah, she's just like kind of oblivious, kind of laying in the bed, looks all confused when people come in.
So it was me and Juniper that were closest to the balcony,
Yeah,
and we saw him.
yep.
Okay. Lads, looks like the master's returning. We probably got to make a decision. Do we want to stay and clean, or do we want to move through the castle?
I think we're
And I'm
here.
like
We
this.
should keep going.
Yeah, let's head downstairs and figure out what we got to clean next.
Think anybody trying to get to Irina, little indigo
Yeah.
stone down there might get us
No.
I
started.
agree, Deckard. I agree. I think we should look for Irina.
Irina gets us to Strahd. So he ain't gonna let her go.
Right. All right. So do you want to head down to back to the hourglass thing?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Start to make our way.
the nerd in me wants to do red.
Is that the tomb or the lore?
lore?
Get lore.
That might be. Maybe that's here though.
That's what I was thinking.
That might
Say
be the
that again?
library. Maybe red is the library.
Oh, good call.
So you've already done it.
Yeah.
I wonder what blue is. Ancient Magic's womb. Like, who knows? That somewhere where, like, maybe he made that pact with death or something. I don't know if that's, or if there's
Maybe-
something.
Maybe we should
I
be
think
like
we should
we
get
should
Irina
decide
first.
on the. We should just be careful because we don't actually know what any of this truly means, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Just because this is an inscription we found. And, I mean, so indigo to the master's bride. I mean, is it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it safe to assume that we're just going to find Irina, or we don't even know? I don't know.
Hey,
He might be heading there too.
yeah. Yeah, it might be our perfect. We might need to get there quick, just
A
because.
little bit of a nooner after talking to the abbot. I think
I don't know,
we
you think a
should leave this
vampire goes
room,
for
though.
a nooner or a midnighter?
A midnight.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
his nooner. It's true. He goes for a midnight snack. I
Yeah,
think
he
we should
drinks
get
White
out of his
Claw.
bedroom. We should get out of his bedroom, though. Either way,
Let's do it.
and either lie in wait for him or go someplace else.
All right. Well, what do you guys think?
I vote for
Indigo?
Irina.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
After
Works for
handing
me.
her over to Vasily, I think we owe her that much.
All right. I guess we don't really know how this works, though, right? Cast a stone into fire.
Do you want to? Is the whole group heading together back down the long spiral staircase to the room? Is that a good
Yeah.
assumption? Okay. Let me try to figure out how to do.
Is there anything on the floor to indicate like a place to stand or anything like that when we're? Is it any kind of markings anywhere that?
Sorry, I gotta try to find the map here. Oh. Man, this is so damn confusing. Okay. So, let's see. You came down. All right, I got it here. I didn't show you the map last time. Sorry, that's why I need to fumble through this for a second. Hold on.
Did you like get all the maps for? Is this like all pre-made maps, or did you have to put the stuff together, or what?
No, well, yeah, it was mostly these are out of the book. The maps that you're seeing are out of the book. And Roll20 includes them all.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Now, okay. Did that update? Nope. Sorry. How about that? And feel free to zoom in and move around because some of these maps are going to be weird.
Okay.
There it goes.
I see it. So it's just the stairs and that like 4 little areas, right? 4 little sub chambers. Oh, I see. It's a different part of the map. Never mind.
Yeah, we're on a different part of the map now, so just roll with that. So you're down by the red marker. I just cleared it up a little bit. Yeah, Adam, the way you're doing it is pretty good there. Thought I revealed more of it though. I don't know if it's working. That's not good. Okay. Yep, that looks good. All right. So sorry about that. Now you're back in the Brazier room. You came down this set of stairs here. So also from this room, for reveal. Wow, good enough. All right. So there's what you see in this room you see 2 doorways over here. This right in the middle of the room is the big crazy contraption that I described. So it's got an hourglass on top of, it's got this big hourglass sitting on top of it. There's another door on the other side of the room, and then these 2 statues on both sides of the hourglass and the brazier. And then all around it are these. Well, let me read the description again to be clear. So the room is a 30-foot square, rising to 20-foot tall flat ceiling. A stone brazier burns fiercely in the center of the room, but its tall white flame, so it has this big white flame coming out of it. You don't feel any heat from it. The rim of the brazier is carved with 7 cup-shaped indentations all the way around it. The Infinity Stones. Within each indentation is a stone, is a round stone, twice the diameter of a human eyeball and made of colored crystal, all different colors. Overhead, above the brazier thing, is a wood-framed hourglass, huge, like probably 2 or 3 feet in diameter, and as tall and as wide as a dwarf. Hangs 10 feet above the brazier, so it's more like up out of your reach on the ceiling, kind of. And it's suspended by thick iron chains from the ceiling. All the sand is stuck in the upper portion of the hourglass, seeming unable to run to the bottom, but it doesn't look like it's blocked off or anything. It just looks like it's sort of magically suspended. Written in glowing script on the base of the hourglass is the verse I shared, and then the 2 iron statues on both sides are of knights on horseback, and they're like poised to like charge with their swords drawn, and they face each other. That's what you guys see.
Cool. So when do those things come alive and murder us?
If we do the wrong thing.
Don't say that
fuck.
too loud.
You ain't kidding, man. Dan's like, I have a great idea. Those were just
Didn't even get
statues. Never mind.
There's no way this could go wrong.
No, everything's fine.
The only colored stones are the ones you mentioned that look like the size of an eyeball, bigger than an eyeball.
Right.
And there's only one of each color.
Right.
Are any of
There's
them
no stone.
omitted?
Oh, sorry. That's what I was gonna say. Is there any like missing?
Yeah.
There are none missing, and they are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet.
Okay.
Roy G. Biv.
So maybe we should like take a minute and reread the inscription as a group and really put our brains together to assess what this shit could possibly mean. Some seem obvious and maybe some don't. Like, do we? Violet leads to the mountain spire. Do any of us really truly understand what that means? Like 100% without a doubt?
No, but I would assume it's that top peak, right?
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know. I would assume that. Oh wait, orange is to the castle's peak.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed a little redundant there, so I didn't know. Red if I don't understand what. I mean, I understand what lore is, but I don't know what that is going to mean for us. Are we going to get teleported to a library? Is that the idea? And we can read some stuff?
Is there any stones that get us the hell out of here?
Right.
If Juniper turns back into a mouse, or not a mouse, but a gnome, and she offers to try to connect with the gods of the forest somehow, maybe with a little plant or something that she finds, to maybe divine if there's a stone that'll get us out.
Ooh. Dig it.
Okay. I need a minute here. So divine.
So it's going
What?
to be divination. I'll need something that's worth at least 25 gold pieces, and it's instantaneous.
Got it.
Okay. So she is going to give up. I don't know if she really has anything. She's got she's got a blue ring, but I don't know if I want to give that up for it. Anybody got anything might be worth about 25 gold on him?
Sure, we got something, right?
How much are the silver daggers?
About the frog statue.
Oh my god.
The jade frog.
Oh, yeah, there you go, Jade Frog. It's been a while.
And so wait, your deity is what or who?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. Because I think the last time that I used this, the only other time I used it, I went outside and like spoke to a tree.
Yeah, there's got to be some. So being like a forest gnome druid, maybe not having a deity, but more of your sort of divine powers, probably nature itself. So to do this, you'd probably need something that's of natural origin that's worth 25 gold.
Okay. What about a bean? I think I only have 4 of them left.
Yeah, one of the magic beans would probably suffice. I can see that being worth 25 gold. Let me see what that's actually worth.
Because I mean, I didn't actually shove it up that vampire's nose. I still have.
I have. Looking for. I don't really have much of value.
Yeah, I think I think one of the beans would work. It's natural. Are we keeping track of how many of those you actually have?
We are.
Oh, okay.
Let me double check. I know it's in my notes. 8 beans from bag of beans. I used one of them, so it should be 7 beans.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say if you want to use one of those and cast that spell, that's cool. I dig it.
All right, so Juniper goes into the pouch that's not like the rock pouch, but like the bean pouch. And she pulls out what it looks to be like a little pinto bean. And she holds it between her hands and she says, or like between her palms, and she says a little prayer and reaches out to the forces of nature and asks if there is a stone, which color will get us out of Castle Ravenloft.
Right. Give me 1 second. Um, all right, so go ahead and say your question again.
Juniper asks if, well, which color stone, if there's a way out of Castle Ravenloft, would get us out.
Okay.
And I'm guessing that if there's no response, then none of the stones will.
So you ask that question, and you hold the bean up and cast your spell, and the bean kind of like dissolves into it turns into little like what look like plant spores almost, and they just kind of float through the air and then just disappear. And then so I'm assuming you share this with everybody, but just you in your head, you hear this soft female voice. Kind of sounds like it's almost singing, and it's kind of like intertwined in the singing. You hear like this light breeze of wind. And she says, in a castle's hold, shadows deep and wide, escapes the mission with colors as their guide. Green, blue, indigo, and violet unite. Through stealth and courage, they take flight.
Whoa, can you send that in writing somewhere? Come on, dude. That's like a riddle poem.
Yeah, can you text that to me, please?
Yeah.
I put it in Roll20.
Okay, so it stands at noon.
Better yet, can you explain it to us in the human terms?
Yeah, Dan, if you were us, what would you think of that?
What would you do? I mean, you
What
know,
do you do?
don't give
Where
anything
did you
away
put it?
though.
Roll 20?
Yeah.
Or can I see it?
Oh, I can also sold a shaft.
I'll put it in Discord too. I'll put it in D&D General.
Okay, I got it. Sorry.
That almost kind of looks like we have to use all the colors at the same time.
Yeah, that thought never even crossed my mind.
That or it's something for Pride Month that Dan's trying to shoehorn in here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Been watching too much CNN.
Can't even get away from this fucking shit when I'm playing D&D.
Green, blue, indigo, and violet.
Pride's tomorrow, guys.
I'm just kidding, everyone on Twitch. I'm just kidding.
It's fine. Escapes the mission.
I think we need to get them all at once. We have to activate those colors somehow all at once, guys.
Well, maybe we try to pick up Irina. And if we get her, do we want to get the hell out and try the all 4 at once thing?
Ideally, if we could get Irina and fight Strahd on her own terms, rather than in his House of
Right.
Horrors, that would be my ideal. I'd love
Right.
to get her because we left her in Vasily's hands and not fight him where he's most powerful. Make him come to us.
So green is the coffin. Blue is Magic's womb. Indigo is Irina. And violet is the mountain spire. Green, blue, indigo, and violet unite. And imagine I said that in a southern accent.
I hear them all day, so that's easy for me.
I can't do the North Carolina drawl though.
You can if you try.
In a castle's hold, shadows deep and
That line right after it makes me wonder: is it actually combined, or do we have to do it in those order, or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, and actually survive the green and the whatever. I don't know. I'm just
oh yeah.
that strength and
The
courage.
green would be the coffins. Where the coffins?
I don't love the idea of going to green. I think that's where probably a lot of friends
What is
are.
the magic's womb? Do we know what that is?
Does that have to do with maybe Baba Yaga?
Yeah, but she
Okay.
dead.
Crib? That's
Stretch. It's a stretch. I know.
Well-
I'm just reaching.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should we go to green, blue, indigo, and then violet? Maybe we find something in the coffins that we then need to do something with the magic in the blue, in the magic's womb. Then that will lead us to doing something with Irina that would eventually bring us to the mountain spire that will draw out Strahd.
You could be right because when you use one, perhaps there's another one of these devices on the other end that you can then jump to the next color. So maybe you go to green and then from where green is, you go to blue.
Yeah, can we take all the stones, Dan? Can we actually remove all of them?
You want to try taking one out?
Nope.
I mean, make an
Let's-
make an investigation check.
I saw this on Indiana Jones, and it doesn't go so well.
Yeah, don't drink from the fountain of youth.
Or the mummy when he peels the scarab with his knife.
7.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you just by looking at the stone, you can't tell if it's removable.
So
Should I send
are
Holyfield in?
Are we trying to assume that the order in this verse is relevant? Like green, blue, indigo, violet? Is that what you guys are saying? Like green to where the coffins
I
hide.
don't
Like,
know
so
if
we
it
go
is.
check out the coffins, and then blue is magic womb.
If we're gonna check
And then
out
violet
one
is
thing,
the
though,
one leads to the mountain spire. I mean, that makes sense. Where it would be like escapes the mission, right? That would be like the last thing that lead us out. I don't know. Probably reading
Yeah.
too far into it. Through
It
stealth
could
and
be
courage
that,
and
or it
take
could
flight.
be touch them all at once.
And why
it
do
could
we
be
even
four of them
think any of
touching at
this
once.
is why is I don't know. I'm just having such a hard time believing anything right now. I feel like everything's fucked and we're all gonna die.
That's the brain pain, coach.
That's
the only thing is that I know that's saying how we escape, but part of me thinks that we should try to get Irina quick
I
before.
agree.
If we get Irina, we're gonna draw him to us.
Yeah, that's gonna aggro Strahd.
But she might be able to tell us how the castle works.
True.
I think we go. I think we follow this little riddle here. I think we should go to the coffins.
Alaric's gut says Master's Tomb.
Hmm?
I mean, I don't think we're necessarily, or I mean, we're not trying to get out of here right now, right? I mean, we have a goal, a mission, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, but do we think we have enough to kill him? Will he just slaughter us if we go
Why?
in there? I don't know, man. He shoots some fireballs that do a lot. He's more of a pyro than Sparkle.
Aye, we're level 11. We should be able to take him.
I mean, we gotta face the music sooner or later, right?
If you want to dance, you have to pay the band.
It's a suicide
Dan's like,
mission,
oh
guys.
shit. Dan's like, I didn't prep for the Strahd fight. Fuck.
No sweat.
Throw
I could
some
be-
peanuts
I
at
could
him.
be totally
and
off.
we'll get a
I'm
Barovia
just-
back in Faerun by 11.
Well, I mean, the one thing we have here though is he still hopefully doesn't know we're here. So, you know what I mean? Leaving yes, we may be not in his lair, but this is his land, right? And so he can prepare for us as a, you know what I mean? Maybe now, I wasn't really eager to fight him, but at least now there is some element of surprise. He doesn't know we have what we have.
Right.
But I still would rather have the tool of having Irina behind us instead of behind him.
We can
Which is why
leverage.
I
We
feel
can
But
like-
over
still,
hostile.
I mean, okay, all right. So I get that, but also, so you're saying like if we're able, if we make Irina our goal, saving her, rescue, getting to her, and
Yeah.
we're able to like protect her while we potentially fight Strahd, isn't that all that's doing is just fueling the fire for Strahd, right? He's just
Maybe,
gonna
but
wanna
he's-
murder us more.
Yeah, but he's going to want to murder us anyway. I mean, the only thing he's not going to
I'd rather
Think about
try
it.
to get an element of surprise
he's not going
if
to
we can.
let loose a fireball at us when she's standing next to us, right? He's not going to, you know what I mean, just
Yeah.
unleash death ray
That's
at, you
true.
know, that could hit.
But what if we
But-
can go to the tomb that maybe he rests in or something? I could be way off. I'm just speculating. I don't know.
I don't
And
know.
What if
I
we
feel
go
like
to the
with Garlic-
tomb and we can like find him and like maybe he's just laying there. I'm not saying we're just gonna walk up and stab him in the neck, but
Right.
maybe we
Maybe
can
we
catch
can
him when he's
put-
not ready.
Could we put garlic in his mouth?
That'd be great. Problem solved.
Well, I think we put that sun sword in his mouth is what we put it. But
There you
like,
go.
The holy symbol
but
in his
look,
mouth.
look, I feel like we know, or I feel like it's more likely that if we throw in the Bluestone, it's going to go to his bride, right? The other two things are presumptions, right? Like, or making assumptions. I'm sorry. We could assume that we throw all of them at once, or we assume that we need to do in that order. I was just throwing that out there. It doesn't mean it's right or more right than doing them all at once. There's just a lot of what ifs. Either one of those options could be wrong or right. But I do feel like we know we could probably get to her by, at least I feel like it's more likely or less of a guess to get to the bride by just throwing in the blue. And whatever, we can take the other stones with us if we want to, or whatever.
I think we asked this before, Dan, or I think last session, but like this area around the statues and the hourglass and all that stuff, does it look like it's been recently traversed, or is it like covered in dust? I feel like I asked this last time.
It is. This area is dusty and has footprints. Yes, you did ask that question, and it does
Okay.
look like it's not. As you've moved around this castle a bit, you've noted that it's trafficked. It feels like it's not like it's been abandoned for 100 years and no one's been through it. So it's not like a thick cover of pristine dust anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So the general vibe is it's like a lived-in castle, dusty here and there. Some of the rooms, though, Strahd's study, that bedroom and stuff like that, were like pristine, like they had been like well maintained, not a speck of dust in them.
Okay.
This room is one of those that's like it's a little dank and dusty, but looks trafficked and moved around so much so that you couldn't like make out a specific set of tracks and follow them.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could, but I don't know where you'd follow. I mean, yeah, that's up to you.
Well, we got to make a decision one way or another, right? We got to try to do something. Either that, or we're scrapping this if we're unsure and we want to go like look somewhere else. But this seems like a pretty pivotal potential situation, in my opinion.
Where was that riddle about the green, blue, indigo? Where did we find that?
That was what. So Juniper had asked, "What stones would get us out of the castle?" And she heard, because this divination it responds in vague riddles in some cases, and that's what she heard and relayed to the group.
Right. So that said, my point is that's not what that's not what we're trying to do right now, right? I mean, why the hell are we here? We're not trying to leave now. So if anything, that should be an indication of something we should keep in the back of our mind, those colors and the riddle and all that. However we can figure that out for potentially getting the fuck out of here.
I agree.
When we want to. Maybe we should all just vote, and maybe we should pick whatever we think. Well, whatever we think, or I mean, I guess it's all personal preference. Maybe what we think makes the most sense, or whatever's the safest path.
Well, other option too is that we take those stones and get like here's one thing. What if we got Irina? Took those other stones with us, right? The escape ones, right? And then chuck in the yellow and try to take the asshole down and then get the fuck out. I mean, that's the other thing. What's our mission? Do we want to run or do we want to try to take him now that there is some surprise? Or I don't think it's going to get any easier, and I don't think he's.
I don't think we're gonna beat Strahd with swords and spells.
You don't think we could beat him now?
I think that riddle's telling us something. I think Irina is the key to something. We need something. We need the three things.
Well, that riddle was the answer to the question, and the question was, right?
How do we get out?
Juniper was to get out, not how to defeat Strahd, right? It was like, is there a way out? Is that
Yeah, Juniper only asked if there was a way to get out.
so? That's what that riddle replies to, right? How to get out.
Exactly. I think like the first line of the poem kind of addresses that too, right? With the escape.
Right. The more you read it, the more it's like literally green, blue, indigo, and violet get you out of the castle. Right.
Right.
I've read it 370 times, and I'll bet a little bit of Electrum on it.
Nice.
I'm just grabbing a beer real
Not my
quick. I'll be
gold. I
back.
like gold. I'm gonna take that back to Faerun. Get a bunch of pirate hookers.
Not all these Chuck E. Cheese tokens you're collecting around Barovia that aren't going to be worth anything when you get home.
Worth
Yeah, you
zero.
get like a fucking Chinese.
I'm throwing them down now.
Can I get a Chinese finger trap with 35 tokens?
Deckard's kind of walking around the thing, and Deckard grabs the green gem where it's sitting.
While he's chewing
we
on a
go.
piece of wheat.
It pops out with ease. It kind of feels like it was put in there so that it could be taken out. I mean, it's like almost like a placeholder for it. So it comes right out without any effort. You guys look over, Deckard just pops out the green stone. It's like a perfect round sphere, like clear green marble.
Then Deckard, like nothing happens. Like Deckard grabs it.
Nothing happens.
So okay, so
Just
maybe
rattle.
I'm liking what Sparkle said earlier.
So,
The
yeah,
whole
Deckard
idea
starts
of, like,
grabbing all-
grabbing the escape stones and then making and just holding them, and then whatever we think, casting whether it's the Master's Tomb or Master's Bride or however you want to do it. Maybe we start with that and take the other stones with us, assuming there's another fire to cast them into on the other side.
Maybe we take them all so nobody could follow us.
That's true.
Deckard.
But maybe
Starts
that'll summon
grabbing all of
Thanos, and then half the people
True.
die.
Which isn't really the worst idea.
Yeah, not in Barovia. I'm cool with most of the people dying here, really.
Even though we've already killed most of them.
We killed a
We
large
burned
percentage
half
of
the
their
population.
population.
The biggest city in the fucking
Yeah.
place we burned down.
Strahd's already like, you guys kind of did it already.
You did.
He's like,
You guys
he's
did
like,
my-
you sure you guys don't want to be friends? You're kind of worse than me.
You seem like you really want to be friends.
You guys are like chaos embodied.
Order of chaos.
Remember that when Dan just kept coloring the city more and more orange or whatever the fuck it was with smoke?
So you guys saved 3 kids from the windmill, but you killed 500 people in the town.
So now
good
half the
work.
city's burning. You guys make it towards the east. What do you want to do?
Want
That's
to
a
find the
good
next
point.
city and burn it to the ground?
The fat kid who was eating all the chicken at the windmill, he's alive. Everyone else is dead.
That's a good point. That's how I killed a few kids. We as a group burned down a
Collateral
whole
damage.
village. Yeah. I'm sure there was
Like-
tons of casualties.
It's like Last Action Hero. Did you ever kill anybody? Yeah, but they were all bad. Oh, that's True Lies. I'm a fucking
Deckard
asshole.
starts collecting all the stones.
That's what
Okay,
it was.
before you so while you're doing that, Deckard, Alaric's getting all fucking Marvel skeptical in his head, whatever. What if we take all the stones and something really bad happens? I realize you took one out and nothing happened. What if once we take them all out, the fucking thing explodes or something?
Or the whole
What did you
castle
think of the
collapses.
Maybe we just skip one. I'm getting afraid.
Deckard's pulling them, so I go green. So Deckard's pulls green. I find
leave the
Deckard
orange one
finds
in.
blue, indigo, and violet.
You're able to take all 4 of those, and nothing happens.
And then I just keep going around. I grab orange, red. The last one remaining is yellow,
Get it.
and he picks it out.
Pluck it.
Can you put them back in?
Yep.
We'll go back in.
You-
I want to know. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Yeah, you
Actually,
take every stone. All you have all of them like in your hands now, like a big handful
Okay.
of marbles.
He plucks out the yellow one and tosses it to Alaric. Keeps the
All
other
right.
one.
So
Okay.
if you
Alark, what do? You catch it and
Yeah,
put it in your pocket, or
I would try to catch it. Yeah, if I'm able to catch it.
Yep.
So you threw me the yellow.
You got
one.
what if a lark just gets teleported by himself to we all escape and he's standing in front of Strahd.
actually, Alark, make a dex check real quick to make sure you
Oh,
catch
no.
the marble when he throws it to
He
you.
would.
Oh,
He would
just in
still
case
run
it
up.
hits the ground and kills
Don't
us
roll
all
a natural
instantly.
one because he's gonna put you.
Just in case.
Advantage on dex saves. I get advantage. I think I can write. Oh, yes, I can.
Kite him till we get there, Lark.
Just a reminder, my dex is low. Natural 20. Do I catch it and get a blowjob?
You pluck it out of the air with chopsticks.
That's even better.
We
I-
just hear a commotion from somewhere in the castle and a lark yelling, "Fuck you guys!"
Screw you guys. All right, so you've taken all the stones out. Deckard has all of them except the yellow one, which he tossed to Alark. still nothing's happened. The sand in the hourglass is tucked at the top, and the flame glows blue or white with no heat coming from it, and everything's still in the room.
Deckard cast it into the fire.
Deckard holds up the green one.
Okay.
Just
And
looks at everybody for a
Alaric,
minute.
Alaric holds up the yellow one and looks at him, and makes a motion like he's going to throw it in the fire.
Deckard sees him throwing it. Deckard holds up. He palms the green one.
I didn't throw it yet, but I'm like looking at you like, eh? Like, you want to do this?
And Deckard's like, kind of like, all right, like.
I feel like nobody's agreeing with me, and I'm kind of haphazardly. I'm being very dangerous.
What do you want to do, Alaric?
Deckard looks at Alaric, says, Alaric, what to say back on the farm was, if you're not sure what you're doing, you better look up your mom in the phone book.
Please write these down.
What the fuck?
That's what he says.
Oh god,
That's the most random thing that came to me in my improv moment.
Now everybody gets -2 to intelligence.
Yes, we're all now stupider. Having
Billy.
listened to that.
We are all now dumber for having listened.
Yeah. So we
I'm gonna throw the Yellowstone in while we sit here and look at each other, unless somebody stops.
Stop. Don't. I don't want to.
Not yet.
Okay.
Wait. So, did you throw it, or
I was about
are
to.
you-
I'm like in the act of it. I'm still kind of like pump faking,
Okay.
unless somebody speaks up.
Listen, where do you think, after he's done with his audience with the abbot, where do you think he goes first? Does he go to his bedroom? Does he go to his bride? Does he go to his tomb? Because we don't want to apparate in front of him right when he walks in.
Yes.
I think it would be better to try to get the jump on him. So logically, where do you think he'll go first?
Time of day.
We don't want to cross paths with him right in front of him. Unless you do.
We can do a vote. I vote blue. That's because where I think you're going, right, Ragnar, with that?
Are you saying blue, the magic's womb, or are you talking about the bride?
No, indigo. I meant the bride.
Indigo.
Indigo. I'm sorry.
I
Indigo.
would lean indigo, but I could be convinced to go anywhere else if a compelling argument is made.
So you guys want to go with one of the colors in the poem that is going to help us escape.
I want
to
Irina.
Getting Irina, and then I feel like I'm okay with yellow.
But how do we even know that actually means Irina?
How do we know what any of this means? I think we're just taking our best.
No, you're right.
I can tell you, lads,
You're right.
that
But
any
Master's bride?
he would only refer to her as bride.
What the dead chick? What was her name?
Tatiana.
Yeah,
He's
what
been
if
looking
that's-
for
what if that's-
Tatiana. Never found her corpse. Never. According to his own hand. And he would only refer to her as his bride. So that's definitely the most sure of all the stones. He would never refer to any other woman as his bride.
And I think he's been obsessed with, Irina. I think he thinks that's his Tatiana.
And Vasily is him.
If he has her, he's going to have her where Tatiana would normally be. And, that seems...
All right, seems to make
That's
sense to
my
Alaric. So Alaric will hold the yellow stone.
Or if you
Lark,
want to,
you get ready to throw it. Sparkle says, wait, no. And you kind of palm it.
I love Dan's sparkle.
I'm still high on that natural 20 deck save. So
Nice.
I'm able to snap it back as soon as I let go of it.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm the DM now.
There you go. All right. So what are you guys going to do?
Looks like unless anybody objects, looks like we're throwing the indigo in to see if it teleports us to Irina. Is the thought, right?
I'd go indigo if it was me.
Okay.
All right. So who's doing what?
So y'all think we should go indigo, huh?
Well, we haven't heard from our paladin and our druid.
Indigo, you say?
Irina first, and then
Yeah,
Combo bang.
I think Irina first. I think that's. I think getting her safe is like kind of the goal here. Getting her out, if she's still
Especially she's
alive.
here, it's our fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juniper's willing to go along with the group.
Deckard has stones kind of like they're kind of big. They're so big, I kind of have to hold them like this, right? Like I kind of have them.
Yeah, they're like double the size of marbles. They're like,
Okay.
like those big
Okay,
ass
so I
gumballs
got
you
'em-
used to have when you were a
Okay,
kid.
so I got them like in my hands. Deckard starts placing them in like his satchel, whatever I have. And then as they're going in, there's two left in his hand. And he throws the green one
Green one.
into the fire.
Do we
All right.
realize? Do we realize this?
Make a sleight of hand check, Deckard.
Keeping it interesting, fam.
I love it.
Nobody
I
ever
love
goes
it.
rogue.
I
I'm
love
going
it.
rogue.
I love it.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, people aren't really paying attention. Alaric and Spargle make a perception check, because I'm gonna let you two, because you're the most engaged in the kind of back and forth that's going on right now.
Oh,
Oh,
6.
Okay.
damn.
So Deckard says, oh, you guys want Indigo? All right. And everybody just kind of like looks around at each other, and then you see Deckard's hand go and something, an object fly into the flame. So technically in character, nobody realizes at this moment that he didn't, what color he threw. Yeah, maybe you assume indigo because that's what you guys just said. But in any event, Deckard, as you throw the stone in there, the flame above the brazier turns green.
That's weird.
Now, I mean, is it though?
Deckard, are you colorblind?
Like, are we all assuming that when we throw the stone in there, it's gonna light up with that color? I mean, yes, that does seem very convenient, but what if it always lights up green? Right?
Also,
it's a white flame originally, right?
Yep, and it turns bright green. Like you think like fell green from Warcraft, and the sand in the hourglass starts to drop slowly, as an hourglass would.
What if indigo and white makes this green flame? How would we know?
How quickly is the sand moving?
It's moving quickly. It's not going to be an hour. You think it's going to be a few minutes before it kind of empties to the bottom.
Is there anything about our environment that's changed other than the sand pouring out?
No, I mean the room itself is kind of glowing green now because the light that it's given off. It's got this sort of greenish glow to the room. That's it.
Is there anything on the floor, like a rock?
Um,
Just a random object in this room that I could throw?
If you mention that you want a rock, Juniper has rocks. She's got tons of rocks. You can pick whatever rock you want.
She's been picking up
Juniper, hey,
rocks
I wonder
all
if you
over
can get-
Barovia.
Juniper, any chance you could let me grab a rock from you?
She looks elated that someone has taken an interest in her rocks, and she goes over and dumps them out on the ground and offers them, pick your favorite.
And Deckard says, give me your favorite one.
She goes through a couple of times and then she picks up one that's like kind of like that quartz, like pinky color with the gray speckles in it. And she gives it to him.
Deckard takes it. That's a good looking rock. And tosses it and then in the air and then tosses it in the fire.
Juniper's curious. She watches. She doesn't try to stop him. But she also puts her rocks back in the bag.
Ragnar grabs Spargle while they're doing that. Spargle, I think one of these doors might be connected to the flame. Maybe one of these doors takes you to your desired location. We didn't check them.
Oh.
Maybe one's an exit and one's a return.
Okay, I'll
Wait, no, time out. Sorry. So Deckard takes the stone. Deckard, when you throw it into the flame, it sort of like pings around, and then there's this like angry sparking as it kind of like shoots the rock out, and it like ding ding across the room and lands on the floor as the walls and the doors around this room all like slam shut, like these big stone sort of walls just slam down. The statues on both sides of the flame suddenly just ever so slightly just animate. Like you just see movement as like the arms and joints start to move a little bit and the room starts to fill with a gas. I need everybody to roll for initiative.
Oh shit!
Okay, I'm
Nice.
sorry. I was listening, but this happened because you threw the rock in.
Threw a fake
Yeah.
rock in, yeah.
fake rocking.
Oh
They call
my
a fake rock. It's a real
I don't
rock.
trust. I never trusted the cowboy.
Well, we never get into trouble. We're always so cautious. I'm going for it.
I'm with you.
I don't think it's because
Cowboy
he
and the
threw.
druid.
I don't think it's because he threw the color. It's because he, right? I mean, it's
'Cause I
because he
threw
threw
the-
the fake
the one-
rock. So he's like trying
It's
to
not an
game the
official
system.
rock.
Right?
I thought we had to jump into the fire to teleport, and I wanted to before we did it.
No, that makes sense. I get it. Still a fucking idiot.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I stabbed Deckard with a knife in his kneecap.
Well, because he's thinking like you threw the color in and that opens the portal, and he's like, well, before I fucking go in there and get my head chopped off, let's throw a rock in and see if something happens. I get it.
Salt
I
Deckard.
probably would have thrown like Spargle in there first, though.
All right. Did you guys already roll for initiative?
Mhm.
Or are you doing it now? Oh no, shoot. I was too slow on okay, Juniper 14, Alaric 20. You got yours, Alaric. Ragnar got your I didn't get excuse me.
Give me the-
Sparkle
Give you mine.
Mine was 12. Sorry.
12, Deckard 14, Thoradin 11. Okay. Alaric. You see Deckard do this, and you see these statues. Now, there's gas coming out of their noses, of the horses' noses, and it's just sort of emanating out. It hasn't, like, filled the room yet.
Are there any openings in the room, or is this like a sealed room?
Yeah, the stairs.
It is sealed now. Like, the doorways that are in the
Oh,
room
yeah.
are like, yeah, there's, like, basically like a... Like the malls at the end of the day, the cages that come down to like block all the department stores. It's sort of like that, like these things like slid down.
Is the flame still green?
That was what I was going to ask. What the flame looked like?
Yep, it's still green, and the sand is still coming down.
And there's no other doors in the room.
Not right. Well, there were doors, but now they're like they're like like blast shields came down in front of them.
And the staircase too? That's covered?
Yep.
I'm going to go towards the flame.
You mean move to the center of the room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what are you gonna do? Just stand there?
So I can visibly see the gas filling the room?
Yeah, you're seeing like this green mist come out of the horse's nostrils
But
of both of
they're
the
not
statues.
moving, animated, or anything.
They are starting to move,
Oh,
but you have initiative, so they haven't fully moved out of their
okay.
position
So
yet.
I
but
saw. Okay, so they're like starting.
Yeah, you kinda hear this, like,
I thought it was just
creaking.
like, oh, we were getting gassed, and I was like, well, fuck it, let's just go through the death portal. Whoa. I don't know. I'll draw my spear and ready an attack, and I guess maybe I didn't need to move to the center of the room. Wherever I was, the closest statue, left, right, whatever. I would draw my spear and ready an attack, and like kind of prepare as I watch them potentially come to life. Is my
Okay.
understanding.
And you're holding your attack until what happens.
I mean, can I attack them, or am I attacking a statue? I guess I don't understand exactly how it's happening.
You can attack a statue.
I will attack a statue.
Okay. What are you gonna do? Go ahead. Make
I
your
realize
attack.
This is all like happening in
Yeah,
unison.
yeah,
so- yeah. I'll
The left or right one?
whatever I was close to. I don't know exactly where I was in the room, so however you want.
You
to
were
do it.
closest to the right one.
Okay, then I'll attack the right one.
Okay.
Um,
Go ahead and make your attack.
I'm sorry. I would use my rage first. Sorry, it's been a while.
Mhm.
Um,
That's good.
So let me check that. So Lark would draw a spear. You'd hear a loud, blood-curdling scream praising Kavan and Tempest, and then he would go to try to poke this son of a bitch with a spear. Do that. Oh, Jesus. 20.
That hits.
Okay. Didn't do the rage thing. Sorry. I need to roll that first, I guess, right? Because I did rage. The D8.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know this was in here. How long has this been in here? I can do it. Oh, very cool. Sorry. That must have been something you added a while ago. The wild surge on my sheet.
Or maybe it did.
I don't
Sometimes
know.
they update
that was
their
never there
character
before.
things. Like Will's whole Blood Hunter got revamped at one point during the campaign, and it rolled or D&D and Beyond updated it all.
Okay. Sorry, I just have to go back. So I rolled a 1. Okay, so as Alaric draws a spear and lets out a blood rage scream, you'll see blood tendrils coming up around me. Just for visual sake.
Carnage. Venom and Carnage kind of
Yeah,
style.
exactly. You must succeed on 12 hit points. Okay. Sorry, I gain 1d12 hit points, so let me roll that real quick.
Oh, nice.
Whoops. So many character sheets. So that. So
I'm
I
not
can
going to use.
add 3. Okay, I added my temporary hit points. So each creature of your choice that you see within 30 feet of you, so probably just this statue, must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 necrotic damage.
Wait, say it again. What does it read?
Each creature within 30 feet of you must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 necrotic damage. So I assume that's just the statue closest to me. I don't know exactly the distances here, but I'm thinking 30 feet's probably just him.
No, I think that's every single person in this room. Your teammates and both of the statues. Is that what it says? It says every creature within 30 what?
Within 30 feet of you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Each creature of your choice.
Oh, that's different. So you can, if all right, yeah, if you want, you can, you can have that affect both of the
All
statues.
statues. Okay, then that's how I would
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yep. Okay,
So-
and that
so
does
then,
what?
They must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 necrotic damage.
Okay. What? Oh, what's the save?
Constitution.
What's the number? What do they have to hit? Like you have a spell save DC or something like that? Does it show it?
No.
It should
It
say.
just says each creature of your choice within 30 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 damage. So they
where
have
is
to
this
be-
at on your sheet?
It's right on my Path of Wild Magic thing.
If you're looking at your sheet, right underneath where it says actions, spells, inventory, if you're under the spells part, it should say the save DC right underneath that.
All of this stuff is not. Oh. Wait a minute. You're right. I'm sorry. I've never had to do this before. DC equals 17.
Okay, they both save.
Okay.
Is there an effect if they do save, they take half of something or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, so that doesn't seem to have any effect on the statues.
Okay. That was a big waste of time. Sorry. And it took my temporary hit points, so I will attack.
All right. And you already made your roll on that, or are you going to do it again?
I rolled 20 to hit, and I hit. And then we did the wild
okay.
surge thing. Sorry, so that was sidetracked. So then you said I did hit, because I rolled a 20, and that should be 15 damage. I think
With what?
My spear.
Blood Spear Kavan?
Right.
Okay.
Piercing damage.
Yeah. So the big statue on the right, you kind of like chip away a chunk of its metal. Anything else? You make an extra attack. Do you get extra attacks?
I
or
always
anything
get
like
extra attacks. I just feel like I don't fight all that much, and I fucking forget all this shit, dude.
that?
Yeah, I can make an extra attack. So I'll roll
Cool.
a hit.
If you'd like, go ahead.
18.
That one doesn't seem to pierce the metal shell of the statue.
Okay. And that's it for me.
All right, Deckard, you're up. Suddenly, as you threw the rock into the brazier, the room blocked down, and these statues started moving around in arcs, attacking the one on the right.
Okay. So I'm still standing next to the fire. I'm gonna do something a little crazy here, and I'm actually going to stick my. Do I feel any heat from the fire? Is there any heat?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Deckard sticks his hand in the fire.
You disappear.
Oh.
Oh
Hey,
shit!
hey, Dan. Not
on
that it
fire.
really matters all that much. Before I forget, I was raging. I was supposed to have 3 damage on that, even if it didn't do any
okay.
damage. Plus 3 on top of my 15. So it should have been 18. Sorry.
Got it. I added it in.
I'm keeping it real tonight, fam.
Hey, Will, I'm gonna call you real quick, okay? And if you guys want to take a break, I'll get back to you guys in a few minutes.
All right, I'll take
Right.
a couple minutes.
All right, cool. How do I do this?
We just disconnect from the call, and then
Yeah, I guess so.
You guys could also use cellular phones.
we could just go in the waiting room.
Way to go, Will.
I messed everything up.
Oh, thank God those fucking guys are gone, huh? Fucking shit.
Yeah. I played some HOTS.
Oh yeah, how'd you do?
I did good.
You know, it's probably the best time to play now because
It
they
is,
don't
'cause
fucking.
nothing's changing.
They don't try. Nothing's gonna change anymore. That's
So
it.
as long as I keep the servers up, it's actually good because like I played the other night and I'm like, oh, I'll get my Sylvanas level 9. I'm like, I'll do a few matches to get her level 10 and get my chest. And then I was like, oh, I'll try
Right,
this character. And
and-
it was cool because it's just going to stay that way. That game's
Right,
downfall
you could play-
was too much shit, which is crazy in hindsight. Like, if a game came out and like it was popular and people were into it, and my complaint was that they added too much content, you'd be like, what? That's not a thing.
No, in a
But it
competitive
is.
game, that's not good. In a competitive
Exactly.
game, that's not good.
It's still, dude. I mean, that game has been out for how many years? And I've played it not a ton, but a decent amount off and on. It is still too much.
Yeah, adding like new characters, right? So new heroes, but then adding new map types, new game modes, and then reworking old heroes,
Mhm.
all at the same time. That's all happening at the same time. It's just too much.
Yeah. But it is still fun. I love the gameplay. I do. I'm not gonna play it 100 hours a week for the rest of my
it's-
life, but I love the gameplay. It's really awesome.
It's more
fluid.
fun, in my opinion. It's more fun than League.
Oh yeah.
It's just so easy to pick up.
Yep. But I played. I just solo queued last night and did a round with Greymane, and I had a blast.
Okay.
Dude, he's hard
you-
to play.
you-
But he's
you-
so fun,
Oh, the risk versus reward is crazy with him.
dude. The fact that I did Alterac Valley, which is still, I know it's been out for a while, but
I
it's
love
still
that
new to
map.
me. The Alterac
Yeah,
Valley is.
I love
one of
that
the
map.
best. It's great.
It's a very good map. Yep.
Yep. I took 15 camps solo. So awesome.
Yeah. That's
so
yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite map in that game.
That is really cool. It's definitely one of the additions that I liked.
Could do without the Overwatch maps.
Don't really. I don't like them, but they're not my least favorite. I don't like the StarCraft map.
I could do without the Zerg one. I like the Warhead one. I don't.
Yes, right. I'm sorry. That's what I meant. The Zerg one is miserable. I absolutely hate
Yeah.
it. The nuke one's fine because the
Yeah.
objectives aren't like massively
Ridiculous.
pivotal. You know,
Yes.
where it's just like if you win it, you just win the game. So
Right, like the Zerg push is like if you get a full push, like
yeah,
that's
it
probably going to
just ruins
ruin
the game,
your
and there's
game.
literally nothing you can do.
Yeah.
All right. So Deckard is gone.
All right. We'll see you.
We'll see you in the Nexus.
You know, we'll see you in the yeah. We'll see you in the Nexus, bud.
Guys,
But that's what you saw. You saw Deckard pass his hand through the green flame, and then as soon as his hand touched the flame, his just disappeared. Just boop.
Does his hat fall to the ground, like, or his hat goes
No,
with him?
his hat went with him.
Do you know how many times? Do you know how long I've played D&D and how long I've played D&D with Will and how many times I've seen his character disappear? This can't be good.
Yeah,
Like-
are you
like
gonna come back
Alaric-
as like a fucking bard?
Alaric wants to be like, let's avoid this fight and just jump through the flame and try to meet up with Deckard, but now he's like, Adam in real life is like, oh, fucking Will's dead again.
when else have I disappeared? I'm trying to think. Oh
In
yeah,
the
like,
chest.
that happened
In the chest.
yeah.
When you,
Oh my
you
God, I
fucking
forgot
dove in the
about
chest and literally died.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that. Who would
I
ever?
put
remember?
a. What did I do? I put.
Oh,
something
you put like a handy haversack into like a bag of holding. So you put like
Yes.
a pocket dimension inside a pocket dimension, and just
Yeah.
basically just unfolded reality
You
around
went into the quantum realm.
Right,
Times
and then
two.
COVID happened.
right, and then all
I
right. Well,
died to some
Hey,
animals.
not
Deckard disappeared. Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna grab the beer, Adam. Go for it.
okay. Not. I mean, out of character. Now that we all saw him disappear, I know my turn's over. But like, my initial thought was like, oh, okay, he's gone. Like, what the fuck? He's probably dead. But what did we expect to happen had we jumped through the flame? Right? Wouldn't we teleport and disappear? So maybe that's
Well, I
simply
think-
just what happened, and I'm overthinking it.
I mean, he waved his hand through it, right? It's not like he jumped in it, right?
Right. But it simply
I mean,
could have been
yeah.
he opened the portal, but by throwing the rock as like a safety net kind of thing, set off a trap. And that's simply all it is this is just a trap for somebody trying to game the system or however it works. So maybe that is our best bet. Because after trying to stab these steel horses with my spear, it doesn't look like it did a whole lot. So maybe
Didn't look good.
Maybe we do just follow him. You know, or at least if we throw a few attacks here and shit's not good, we can start slowly backing our way towards it as a
But
last
remember the gas. There's
Right.
also gas, though.
That's true.
I don't like the gas.
Yeah, I don't. I'll shut up. You guys.
All right.
You guys take
Well,
your turn.
it's Juniper's turn, and the sand is still flowing through the hourglass. Just as a reference. But Juniper, you've seen it all. What are you gonna do?
So Juniper is going to cast Gust, and try to kind of blow the air away from her companions. She can create a small blast of air capable of moving one object that is neither held nor carried. Harmless sensory effect using air. Yeah, so it's basically just, she's blowing a little bit of it away. And then she's gonna run after Deckard. She's gonna run over to the flame and shove her hand into it.
All right. So Juniper casts Gust, which is, let's see, it's like verbal and semantic. Yeah. So she's wiggling her fingers and she says this thing and kind of waves her hand over towards you, Alaric. And you notice that the green smoke that's coming out of the horse that you're stabbing seems to like push back a little bit push into the alcove and not be coming not right in your face, coming right on your eye. Sorry. So, but then Juniper also, she runs over and reaches her hand across the flame and she also disappears. I'm trying to do this a little bit quicker this time so I don't have to do this every time. But Amber, can I like call you real quick or something?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be real quick, guys. I'll be right.
Oh, I'm a child.
Oh god, dude, I'll never grow. I'm almost 40.
It comes right in your face.
Almost 40. Just coming
That was
right in
great.
your face.
I mean, if you were like 81, you'd laugh at that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm laughing
absolutely.
at that slum dead.
This
Come on.
steel horse is just coming right in your face.
Oh, I love it.
So how mad are all of you at me right now?
Oh, not at all.
I know
not
Spargle's
bad.
fuming over there.
Nah.
These things are
Punch,
very
Punch
tough.
is mad at me.
I'm not bad.
He's thinking to himself, "Why the hell did I start playing D&D with this guy
Oh no,
5 years ago?"
you mix it up every once in a while.
It's a
I
good
felt
thing.
we were
No,
joking.
but it's a good thing, Will, because most of us are too afraid to mix it up. I know I
You
am.
got to play your character
I-
too, how you want
I
to.
always
you know what I
right.
mean?
I always overthink things. So it's I think it's all about finding that balance. Right? It's trying to stay true to your character as best as you can, but also trying to stay true to like the game and not being just like a fucking asshole prick all the time. No offense,
when we
Crocus,
played
but how Crocus was in the beginning. Where he was like
When we
trying to
played
play
with
his
Doug
character
and
too
Mitchell that
much.
first time, I do feel like I played more like I just want to play. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now I do try to play more like my character wants to play. And I think that's how you should play your character, how you want to play him,
Yeah,
right? You know what I
definitely.
mean? So
Always,
I'm
yeah.
not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not fuming.
No. I don't think I'd ever get mad at
I'm not saying
anybody
I would
I
have done
played
that,
with
but I
about
would.
any decision they made.
But
No, sometimes the crazy shit's the fun stuff. So
right.
Juniper
backfires.
disappears. Sparkle, you've seen this all go down. Deckard and Juniper are poof gone.
Okay. I'm going to take a few steps towards it. As I'm doing, I'm going to cast invisibility. And then take my hand and move towards it and put it in the flame.
Okay. So you're invisible now. And then shit, this is gonna take forever.
Do you want to just suck us all in the flame?
Yeah, I mean,
No, I'm just.
Because I think
All
that's
right,
where we're
let's
headed.
just. All right, okay, that's fine. If you guys are kind of letting me in on that, we'll just play this
No,
out of
damn
character.
it!
So,
I
so
want my
I can tell you
call.
that's what I'm
I
doing.
want my phone call.
I, wa-
I want to phone a friend.
I
I'm
heard the
going in.
voices.
I'm going in.
Yeah, I'll go into.
Ragnar. Okay, here's the thing. Let's shortcut this.
We all die.
Problem is, Ragnar, you're going to be last.
Oh,
So everybody, so Juniper puts her hand in front of the flame, disappears. Spargle, you turn yourself invisible, run over, do the same. Thornton, are you also going to follow Spargle as they
Yes,
pop, as their
yeah.
friends just are popping away?
It's been my
event-
intention, yeah.
Okay, so Thornton, you see Spargle disappear. Ragnar, you see Thornton disappear. Suddenly, you're standing there by yourself, Ragnar.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What about Alaric?
Yeah, I guess I should be last because I've already
mm.
like acted.
He's
I'm sorry.
with
I'm
me.
sorry. Yeah. No. Yep. my mistake.
Beefcake is here.
Yeah. Alaric and Ragnar. You see all this happen. I forgot you didn't go, Alaric. So that's what you see.
good.
So those all those guys disappear. The horses are the statues, the big iron statues in knights and stuff. They freak and start to come towards you, and the green mist comes blasting out, or comes flowing out of both of them. Even though the gust kind of blew it back a little bit before, it's now it's coming out. That like now they're like it's. Before it was just like kind of misting out. Now it's like shooting out. Like it's like they've turned it on full blast. Let's say. I need you both to make a Constitution savings throw.
Okay. Sorry.
I have advantage on poison. Does this count as that?
This is poison. So yes, please roll with advantage. I should have asked you that or mentioned that.
I got 26.
Okay, that's good.
$16.
Okay. So it's inescapable. You're breathing in all this stuff. Ragnar, you kind of give it your old dwarven knock it in and cough it out. It hurts a little bit, burns your lungs, does 23 damage to you, Ragnar,
Holy fuck.
and 47 to you, Alaric.
Okay. So
And unfortunately, the poisonous fog thickens from the other side of the room, and you both have to make another savings throw.
You told me
That ain't good.
47?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 17.
23.
So Ragnar, you might not have been paying attention. You're kind of like evaded the one in front of you, but as you turn, you take your breath back in and you breathe in a full lung of the other side of the poison, and take 30 poison damage. Alaric, you take 15.
Cool.
And now it's your turn, Ragnar. And you now it's like that poison's like that's all you can breathe and it hurts. But it dissipates. It doesn't feel like it's lingering in the room. Like the full blast of it. Like you feel like you'll be okay for now, unless more comes out of these statues. It's not like you don't feel like you're gonna continue to suffer from it.
How close am I to the brazier? I'm right near it, I
Close.
guess.
This is like a 20 by 20 foot room, so you could almost just take a couple steps and reach in.
Would I be able to use before touching the thing? Would I be able to use second wind? Or
Yes.
the thing's too close to me.
Yes, because that's a movement and an interaction. You can you can do an ability, a movement, and an interaction on your turn, all in that order. So yeah, you can do your second wind.
All right, I'm gonna do that. So I get a 1d10 plus 11. So I'm gonna get 19 back.
Nice.
And then, Ragnar looks a little bit better. And he looks over at Alaric and he says, "Smelled worse than that in the bathrooms of Gauntlgrim before we cleared him out." And spits on the ground. And then puts his hand into the flame.
That's one of the best lines yet.
And as he disappears, you just see him and he just looked like this. Like, "Bleh."
Yeah. So Lark, that's what you see, and you are now alone in the room. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna follow him, and I'm not gonna say anything because none of my friends are here.
You should do the the Office Space. You fuck you. He does what he does at the restaurant.
Yes.
So anyhow, you put your hand through the green flame, and so now I can explain to everybody what has happened. So each of you, one by one, kind of in order as you did, find yourselves. Although no one notices Spargle. So in character here. Spargo, you see everybody, but no one sees you, just for the record. Unless somebody has true sight or something where they would see invisibility. You all, the rest of you who I didn't already talk to and explain, suddenly like your everything goes black, and then your vision like clears again, and the first thing you notice is fresh air. Especially Alaric and Ragnar, who just breathe in just good, clear, fresh air. But it smells really burnt, ashy, burnt. And you kind of blink and look around and you realize you are in the burned out shell of Vallaki, standing in the middle of some burnt out building. And you look around and you see some coffins that look like some were like half made and kind of, they're all burnt. You see a sign on the ground, which is also charred, and it says Henry Vandervork, Coffin Maker, Vallaki.
I'll be damned.
I just felt like coming back here. I was locked in Vallaki.
Wow.
Oh, good. So all these are just going to teleport us to our worst nightmares.
So
I'd like to
Wait.
live this nightmare.
we're in a building or a burned out building?
Burned out building. You're standing like kind of on one end of Vallaki and just looking around, and it's just like everything's just burnt to the ground.
Are we all like right next to each other, and this all kind of happened pretty quick? Okay.
Yeah, this was one round, so this was like 6 seconds
Pretty
each. So this
much
was
in
all within
succession.
like 30 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody shows up, but the five of you realize Spargle's not there.
Do we realize that he casted invisibility and disappeared, or like is that something we should have? No.
I don't think he
Oh,
told us.
Okay. All right. Well, then you know what? Alaric would.
Well,
like,
Thoradin or Ragnar and Alaric might have seen him do that. That's a good point.
that wouldn't be like a total shock to us because this is something he's done before, where he's concentrated, casted a spell, and then disappeared.
Yeah. That's
before he
a
went to
good
the
point.
flame.
That's right. You guys might have realized that he cast invisibility. You did realize that he cast invisibility first, but you don't see him.
Okay, so we're in a building. Alaric would like reach out to touch the closest object, like a wall or whatever, coffin, whatever he's closest to see if it's real. And then he would probably say, Spargle, are you here with us?
Hi. And everything feels and smells and looks real.
Okay.
You're in Vallaki, or what's left of it.
I just wasn't sure where we're going.
Okay, and this was
How much time has passed since I threw that stone in?
Not very long. This all kind of happened real quick.
Is there? I mean, it's probably not possible to tell at this point, but is there like? I guess two questions. One is based on how the sand was moving in the hourglass. Was there any insight as to like not exactly how much time would pass, but like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was moving swiftly. Like you thought it'd be minutes, not an hour. If that answers your question.
And then the other question I have is, do I see the green stone anywhere?
Make a perception check. And if you get advantage on sight-based perception checks, you could do it with advantage.
19.
You don't notice the stone anymore.
And then last question, looking around. Are there any coffins that are not in any way destroyed?
yeah, I like that.
Are there any coffins that are still intact to
Oh,
at least
God.
some degree?
This place is
This
totally
place is-
fucked. Yeah.
Sounds like something Matt would have
there are
done.
some-
That's-
There are
yeah.
some that are not completely destroyed, but they're charred and burnt a little bit.
But intact, usable.
Usable, like you could take the lid off it and put shit in it, and yeah, I'd say there's a couple.
Okay.
There are, let's see, 3, 8, 12. There's like 15 or so total coffins. Maybe 3/4 of them are burnt and destroyed. And a handful of them are still good.
Does that
There's
And
not an
Balaki-
hourglass, is there?
Well, here's what I'm. Hey, you all think that when that hourglass runs out, it teleports us back?
I don't know. I was
Or was
hoping
that
there'd
how
be
long
like
we had
another-
to go through the portal when we were there?
I was hoping there'd be like a several of those things. You know what I mean? Like you could just go to different, almost like the teleportation, circles take you to one spot where there may be another send or receive. I was hoping there'd be another one of those things here with Irina, but I don't know.
Maybe there is one in Balaki.
Wait. Didn't...
Deckard starts investigating some of the intact coffins, opening them up, looking inside of them.
Lark would help him. That seems interesting.
So what's super weird, or maybe not weird, but as you open the intact coffins, you notice that they're all full of dirt.
Full of what? You
Dirt?
cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry. You open a coffin, and you see it's packed almost to it's probably packed about halfway full of like clean soil.
This is just one coffin, or all of them that we look at?
As you open more, you notice they're all that way. The intact ones are all that way.
Okay.
It's doing secret gardening.
Do any of them have names in them? There
They
coffin
don't.
with my name in it. That's why I ask.
No, these don't. Yeah, that happened at Argynvost. But no, these are just sort of just unlabeled. You see some tools and stuff around. Gives you the sense that this was like a workshop to build coffins, perhaps.
The one that Deckard's standing over, he takes out his short sword and starts poking around in the dirt with it.
Yeah, you spend some time like poking around, seeing if there's anything in there, and there's nothing. It's dirt.
Does it sound like there's anybody in town, or is it just us?
Make a perception check.
18.
Yeah, it's eerily quiet. You don't detect much or anything. It feels
Here's
like
what-
this place is pretty much abandoned. Ghost town.
Here's what I'm thinking, y'all. I think we need to take one of these coffins. We need to bring it to the, this magic womb. We'll have to figure out what that is. Then we need to put Irina in it, and we need to go up to that spire.
You want to put her in the coffin
Wait.
first?
Isn't Irina supposed to be here?
Huh? I thought maybe. I mean,
I don't know how we're
threw-
gonna go to Irina if she's supposed to be here. Maybe she's
I threw the blue one in.
The blue?
Yeah, I wonder whose
Yeah.
birthday it is.
Indigo, rather. I'm sorry. The one y'all wanted.
Why do we leave a colorblind guy in charge of this?
The brazier lit up green.
Well,
Dan, can I tell if Deckard's
Yeah,
I saw
absolutely.
green. Do I have any kind of intelligence kind of ability to figure out that maybe he's not telling the truth, or insight? I don't know. I suspect a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Make an insight check. Deckard, make a deception check.
Here we go. -2, baby.
I didn't do a great one. 13.
Oh, solid 3.
Yes. No one else knows this, but Spargo, he sounds like he's bullshitting a little bit.
I was
Deckard, I'm not really sure you threw in the indigo. Which color did you throw in? I don't think that was the indigo. Can you check the stones?
Deckard pulls the
Well-
stones out of his pack.
Oh god.
Can you please go?
He's like,
What color's indigo? Please, just do it. Just go. Hey, I don't know what indigo means, so I'm sorry.
that would be. The problem is I try not to play him dumb because he's not dumb. He is average intelligence. Like, he's just no charisma.
Low charisma.
He kind of looking at it, and again, like, I'm gonna try and do this. I have to try and do this like I'm not rolling. I have to do it like I'm Deckard with not -2 charisma. I mean, I had all the gems here, and I threw the indigo one, but it seems here like I still have that one. I'm trying to make it like you can tell I'm lying. I don't know what that says about me as a human being, that I don't know how to make it seem like I'm lying. But
Sparkle's usually pretty chipper, but he just like looks at you like very plain faced.
you seem upset, Spargle. What did I do?
You threw the wrong stone.
Think I threw the right one.
I don't think you did.
I think we need these coffins, and I think we need to get it enchanted.
Okay, but that's not really what we agreed to. But if that's what you think,
I didn't
Well,
know. I didn't hear us agree to anything. I'm sorry. You know what they say, Spargle? If you can't, you got to hear what's going on around you if you want to have any friends.
again, I just look stony faced kind of at you, not my normal chipper. Very dead looking stony face. Well, all right. What do we do now? Because we're not in the castle anymore. We're a lot further from both Strahd and Irina. Maybe that's better, maybe that's not, but I wanted to get Irina out of there.
Deckard flips over the coffin that's in front of him and pours the dirt out.
Okay. Yeah. So you empty it all out. The dirt all comes out, and it's really good soil for what it's worth. It's really rich black soil, odd, and it's a clean coffin. It actually looks, other than that it's charred from the building burning down, it looks like it was maybe just recently, it had just been built and not used.
Ooh, can I use the Wand of Secrets
Yeah. Yes, you can. What does it do?
I can see any secret doors or traps within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
And it goes for a little bit. So if it doesn't, I might just like trying to walk around a little bit the building or the shell of the building.
Yep. 1 second.
While you're looking that up, Juniper's gonna grab a handful of dirt and put it in her pouch.
So Amber, you can take like coffin dirt if you'd like to take some of that.
A good idea.
So let me read the one. Hold on, I don't want to overshare if this is not intended. Secret.
This place is totally fucked. dude.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so awesome.
So the wand starts pulsing and drawing your hand towards one corner of the room.
Okay.
The room, that corner of the room, though, is covered in like burnt down rubble. The floor above it's all kind of come down and made
You
a
guys
bunch
help
of
me clear
mess.
this corner. There's something here.
Hey, sorry, not to sidetrack. On this map, are we at that red marker?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like it's pulling me in a spot, but I don't actually see anything because of a bunch of rubble and stuff, right?
Right. It's like one of those old little like when they do like the walk, like the
Divining
old
rods kind of thing.
divining rod. Yes, exactly.
Mhm. Okay, you see me like with a little force. No, you see me trying to dig through things, and I get to like a rock, and I'm like, and it's
Ragnar,
like
go
large
help him.
fist size, and I'm like,
Hey, Spargo, wait, where are you exactly?
I'll reappear. I'm sorry, I forgot I was invisible.
Okay.
I'm
At what
sorry.
point you
And I
reappear?
point to the
Like
corner. I'm like, there's something in this corner here. I think there's a secret door or something, but I can't. There's all this stuff in the way.
Deckard goes and starts helping him clear things.
Ragnar would go.
all right. As
I
you
would
all
go
work-
too. I'm listening. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah. How are you guys going about this? You're trying to get it done quickly or carefully?
Carefully.
Yeah, I think carefully, just because of the state of the building.
And the state of my body.
All right, then let's make I would say Sparkle, make a dexterity check with advantage because you're being helped.
Okay. 16.
16. Okay, so you guys you kind of like do the archaeological approach here, right? Rather than the like just get everything out of the way real quick and you start pulling things back and you're being a little bit careful to not maybe disrupt the building or disrupt what your wand of secrets is pointing towards. And when you pull the rubble away, Sparkle, you see it first because you're kind of attuned to this. You see what looks like the edge or an arc of a teleportation circle.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay, I'll mention that and be like, all right, let's be real careful because I think we got another one of those circles here. Teleportation circle.
Well, tell me what we got to do, Spargo. What are we clearing away here?
I think just
We can't sweep. We can't like sweep, right? Because we'll mess up the. Isn't it done in like chalk?
Yeah, like
We can't
some kind of black powder or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out a piece of paper and start sketching it too, Dan, to see what I see before we, you know what I mean? And then like try to say, all right, got it. And then let them move some other stuff so I can see another part of it. You know, got it, that kind of thing.
All right, that's going to take you a little while, and I need, which is, if that's okay with everybody, it's going to take you about an hour. So if anybody else wants to take a short rest, explore, do anything else if you want to use an hour up.
Ragnar, you might want to chill.
Yeah, I could use. I'm looking a little weathered, so
I
I'm gonna
think
rest.
before we go anywhere, here's my thoughts: is that this spot here is part of Strahd's. He can get here real quick, right? So we either try to get this circle and get away from this particular spot.
Can we, Sparkle? Can we teleport if we reveal this whole thing? Can we teleport from right here?
Do I know that, Dan? If
Oh.
we send or receive ones.
You would need to this would be really similar to when you were in Selenka Pass. And you had that one circle there and you had to like re-dial it in.
Okay.
It looks to you like this is a destination circle.
A destination circle.
Yeah.
All right.
But if with you've learned enough with the different patterns and stuff like this now but the one that you found in the Amber Temple and Selenka Pass, that you can, again, with about an hour, decipher like what it is and how to, like, if potentially, depending on how you roll on your check, re-point it to another circle that you know about.
Alaric
Okay.
would be on board with the short rest along with Ragnar.
Yeah, I
Just so you know.
think before we, well, if we can figure this thing out, you know what I mean, then we can get out of here and take a long rest too. You know what I mean? Because I think we all probably could use, at least I could too. I don't have much in the hopper left.
Well, how desolate is this place?
Desolate.
Is there any sign of life?
Yeah,
No.
Juniper
There
was
any,
took a look and there wasn't anything.
Can
Yeah,
I?
Juniper was sniffing around, looking around, nothing. It's like a total ghost town.
You guys just want to set up
Can I-
camp and fucking long rest and get ready?
That's what I'm.
We
Like,
also don't know if
Or
he
are we
knows
wasting
where
time?
that we came.
Yeah, we
He
might
could
be
know that
wasting
we
time.
came.
I'd rather walk into the woods and get away from this teleportation circle.
I agree.
Yeah,
Too.
he might know that
He's
we
gonna
came.
see the
It's
trap
still-
was tripped. He's gonna see that the walls came down in that room.
And he's going to know that he may know that there's green that being used, or he may know that whatever, he'll see all the stones missing. So
I say we get out of this place, maybe go to the woods, maybe head to Van Richten. That's what I would vote for, since we're out of the castle anyway.
you
Tell
don't
Van
want to
Richten
try
what we found.
to discover the circle at all or not?
We could come back, but we're
Okay,
in no
after
position
we're
to fight.
rested?
Yeah, we're in no position to fight.
Okay. I'm
Well,
okay with
here's
that.
what I'm thinking. Dan, can I make a survival check to see if around us in the rubble, in any half still standing building, if there's like see if I can find a place for us to lay low that might protect us to some degree and hide us.
Yeah. How much time do you want to spend kind of poking around? How far do you want to go from where you're at right here?
I'm willing to wander around, a couple hundred yards.
Couple hundred yards. Okay.
Like maybe Spargle, Deckard suggests, hey Spargle, while you're why don't you start looking at that teleportation circle? I'll wander around, see if I can't find us a place to lay low. Everyone else can.
Do we want to move a little bit away from the circle though, just so he's, I don't
Don't
want.
you need to study it?
I just don't want Strahd popping in here and then we're like snoozing. 200
Rod
feet
shows
away.
up, I'll take this here coffin and smash it over his head. It's all right. Hell, you all wanted to go yellow anyway. Or at least at Irina, which would have brought us right to him anyway. He shows up, and not all what you wanted.
Not after we've been poisoned, though.
Go ahead and make a survival check if you're going to do that. And then I guess I'm like, how much time are you guys spending in this exact spot to do your? Are you trying to go quick, or is
If
this all
he's gonna
happening in
start
parallel?
hunting around, I guess I'll continue to look at the circle. But if we're leaving to go rest, then like I'll leave.
Yeah. What do you guys want to do? Because then I'll give you a different kind of survival check, Deckard, if you have more time. If you guys are spending like 10 minutes looking for a spot, or just getting the fuck out of the, going into the trees, that's one thing. If you're spending a little bit more time, then that would give Spargle time to look at the circle and give Deckard a little more time to find a safe spot in town.
I was thinking that it would be, I'll take an hour or so to look around, and in that hour, y'all can clear up and study
The circle.
the circle, and then hopefully I can find a good spot, and we can take a break after that.
Okay. Then I'll just continue while he's doing that.
Okay. All right. Then, Deckard, you can make a survival check with advantage, and then Spargle just make an Arcana check, straight up.
17.
All right. What are you rolling on? I know, not that I don't trust you, but I'm not seeing the rolls come up.
I'm rolling on D&D Beyond.
I got a 22.
Yeah, my
You-
game
you're talking
log's
about-
not-
Yeah, I see the rolls coming through.
I just had to refresh. Now I see them all.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so Spargle, I'll start with you. You spend the whole time Deckard's, scouting around town, studying this circle, and because you're getting pretty used to all these different symbols and stuff, you think that with enough time, you could shift this circle into to point it to any of the destinations you've already been.
Okay.
So you could reattune it to Solanka Pass,
Castle Ravenloft.
or the exact same spot by Strahd's study that you dumped in on Castle Ravenloft.
I like it.
However, Deckard, you're scouting around, and you find yourself at the old Baron Vlakovich's mansion, which is burnt down, totally ransacked, even has graffiti and stuff on it. Stuff that's there's all kinds of graffiti that says "Death to the terrorist outsiders." Strahd will have his revenge against those that burned our town down. Fuck Kavan. All these kind of things. But you find a spot that because the mansion itself was so substantial, there's a pretty good section of it that's still intact that you could kind of hole out in for a while if you wanted to.
Okay. I roll back to the group and let everybody know that I found a good spot.
And I would say also, as you were exploring, no indication of anyone else around. Like, this place is like almost maybe avoided at this point.
Okay. So I deliver that news that, I found a spot for us to lay low.
Well, maybe we should hit it. I think I know enough, at least from my diagram here, that I can come back and recreate it, but I don't think we want to do it now.
All right. Well, why don't we lay low for the night? Spargle, you're looking a little tired from all this studying. Ragnar, you look like you smelled one of Thornton's farts.
One of Ponch's farts from Korean food earlier.
Nice.
I told Dan I had to light a candle in here.
Where'd you guys go, Bonchon?
Korean bar. No, we're in Berea, and I just went to that Mike's. What is that? Mike's Tavern or whatever in Berea. And they had Korean rice bowl, so I got it. Very tasty, but deadly.
So, yeah, I lead. I mean, if everyone's okay with it, I'll lead everybody back to the guys who I killed's house.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's it's pretty much like the ground floor now, but everything else is sort of rubble, but it's it's a nice big place, and it's pretty structurally intact. So you're able to like kind of, I would say, like get into the like front like foyer or entryway and kind of bar the door and set up shop there if you guys want to do a long rest. It's actually middle of the night now, so your long rest would kind of carry, a long rest would take you to like late morning of the next day, for what it's worth.
Just to be sure, I'm gonna do the Leo's hut too, for us.
Okay. Can you
Level 3.
and that does
It creates basically like a force dome.
yeah, okay, 10-foot radius
Uh-huh.
dome, which would be the whole foyer that you're in. So it's like, yeah, so you're in this foyer of the old Velaki mansion that's all burnt down, and you also have this dome around you. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry. The dome is opaque from the outside, but it's transparent from the inside. Yeah, so you're good. Does it block sound or anything?
I don't think so. I just got rid of it. Spells can't extend through the dome, but it doesn't say anything about sounds.
Okay, cool.
It just says magical effects can't extend through the dome.
Okay. Cool. So everybody can take a short rest. Does anybody want to do anything else during the short rest?
Long rest, right?
I mean, long rest. My bad.
Okay.
I think I would try the pipes.
Ah,
Weed?
there you go.
We smoking weed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hit the water pipe.
Oh,
I got
hell
that.
yeah.
Pipes of the pipes of
Ragnar's hitting the pipe.
blowing smoke rings with Gandalf.
There you go.
Hell yeah, brother.
What's up?
You fear all of us, and we all like run into the wall.
So we successfully taken a long rest, or what's up?
Yes. I'm sorry. Everybody successfully takes a long rest.
Okay.
Just
What do I
catching
do
up on
for that?
on
The
content.
performance?
Yes, I think was that what we were doing? Punch, do you get, or I don't have the notes in front of me. Do you remember what it was for the pipes? Or was I keeping track of that?
It wasn't. I already transferred the pipes to him, but I think what you were saying is a certain number of successes, right?
Yeah.
Ragnar?
I believe.
But do you remember what
said
the check was?
I was one more away.
Yeah.
But do you remember what the difficulty check was? Hang on, I can check real quick. But go ahead and roll your performance check, and I'll look this up.
Yeah, it might be moot.
What are those called, Punch? Pipes of
Haunting.
haunting.
I got an 11.
Yeah, I didn't have it written down. I looked.
Sorry, I was fucking muted the whole time. I just had this great little dialogue. So you, Ragnar, yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if your lungs are a little raw from the poison you inhaled earlier, but the playing that you do, just doesn't. You don't feel like you're figuring it out any further. It just sounds like a broken kazoo at this point. And everybody's just a little annoyed at their disrupted sleep.
Turn that shit off, Ragnar.
Midway through the rest, Deckard, you wake up, or maybe you were awake and just kind of turning around, and you're just the edge of your hearing. You pick up the sound of wagon wheels slowly turning and slowly coming closer from the west.
They delivering some wine?
Maybe it's our friend with the wagon.
From the west.
Deckard, can I get to like the top of this building, or at least what's left of it, and get like a vantage point?
There isn't a top. The upper floors have fallen down, but you could get to you could climb up to the top of, as high as you could get to look.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a peek.
Okay.
Looking towards the
Can you
sound.
make another perception check?
Sight, or is it hearing and smell?
Sight.
I do not get advantage. Perception check, right?
Mm-hmm.
11.
It's too dark. You don't have any kind of great, dark vision. So you don't really. If any, you might make out the faintest shape. Dark, maybe you might think that you saw a little bit of a shadow of a movement along the road, the Selenka Pass, which runs right through Balaki.
Okay. This is not what's it when you the term I'm looking for? When you use your knowledge of the game to take advantage of it. What's that called?
Metagaming it.
Yeah. I'm not metagaming this. Think how Deckard would think about it. He'd get up there, look out into the darkness like, what the fuck am I doing? I can't see in the dark. So he runs down and gets Alaric. Wakes up Alaric. He's like, hey man. Shaking Alaric awake.
Lark would be like, hey, what's going on, Deckard?
Hey man, I think I hear something and I can't see shit in the dark and I need your help.
Okay.
See in the dark, can't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No problem.
And Deckard and Alaric are eating popcorn and blueberries while they're having this conversation. Yeah. So I'm like, hey man, like out to the west, see, hey, go up there, see if you can't see anything.
Okay. All right. Now this is all like Alaric just was like mid deep sleep because he was almost dead a minute ago, and he's trying to come to. So he's kind of a little taken back by it, but he's rubbing his eyes and following Deckard and trying to figure out what he is possibly talking about right now.
All right, I need you to make a Constitution roll to see if you have morning wood. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't
so
need
you
to. I do.
So the blood spear Kavan is popping out of Alaric's pants. So Alaric, you scaffold up to the same good spot. Like Deckard found like a good like stable place to get up high and look down towards the road, and he points down where he heard the thing. So make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. A 24. So it's it's a clear it's early morning now, because about halfway through your rest. It's like what would be dawn if there was such a thing in Barovia. and you actually witness the moment at which you see this shape moving down the road slowly. Like the wheels are moving real slow. It's just like creeping along the Valaki or the Svalich Road, and it slows down, kind of right perpendicular to where you guys are. And what you see is parked on the road now, and pointed to the east is a large black carriage drawn by 2 black horses. You can even see the horses like snort puffs of steamy breath.
Sound like mean horses.
Sounds like fucking horses that are coming after us that were trying to kill us back in Castle Ravenloft.
Yeah, Barovia things, you know.
Yeah.
Barovian things.
As you're looking at it, Alaric, you see one of the carriage doors just swing open, like a door at the mall, like the automatic door, like your handicap door, just pops open.
And
That's it. Just sitting there now.
hey,
Go hop
Decker,
in.
there's a whole bunch of shit out there that we don't want to see.
It's
What?
not Mary's
Alaric would relate what he sees. Okay, so Alaric is looking out at it, and Decker's right by him, pretending like he can see anything but total pitch black. And he goes, "Hey, there's a fucking wagon out there with some scary looking horses, and somebody opened a door, and I don't see anything. I don't know what we're supposed to do. Can I go back to bed?"
This is creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Can I go back to sleep?
How far away is this thing from us?
A few hundred feet.
Does it seem like it? I guess I asked this to Alaric. Does it seem like it kind of rolled up just for us?
That's how we get
mean,
back in. He wants his stones back.
Does it? I mean, based on my knowledge of the area, does it seem a little? I mean, I guess it would seem out of the ordinary for this to happen in the middle of the night. But does this especially seem out of the ordinary? Like,
I mean, you tell me.
yeah, it seems a little fucked up. So, yeah,
All
right.
right.
Yeah, I guess Lark would say that. Yeah, this is weird, dude. I don't know. This is Barovian weird. So we should probably scope this out and see what happens. Because I mean, yeah, let's just watch and see if anybody steps out of there.
This is Barovian weird.
That's an Urban Dictionary now. Barovian deer.
It should be.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like kind of watching the wagon, approaching it?
I'm definitely not going to approach it. I would think that Deckard would probably agree because he's blind as a bat. So
Yeah.
unless he lights
Deckard
a
says,
torch,
I can't see shit, man. I don't know what I can do.
I'll be your eyes, soldier. We'll wait. We're going to just watch it. See what happens. See if somebody comes out. Maybe give it a minute.
As long as you wait, it sits there completely still with the door
Jesus
open the way it
fucking
was.
Christ. What about an hour? Just stay there for an hour.
You almost eerily don't see an ounce of movement for the full hour that you stare at it.
No, for the love of God. Okay. Well, however
Hey,
long
remember
we
that
stay
time
there?
we tried to get some sleep in the burned down city? And then the horses pulled up and
Yeah,
remember that time?
ruined everything. The horses were a terrible idea.
There's blood everywhere.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I get Alaric's understanding everything I am because I'm talking to him the whole time. I don't know. What do you, Alaric? I mean, Deckard. Deckard, what do you, what do you think? Do we just
I
keep
think-
waiting here, or do we
let's
get
go
the
tell
hell
the
out of here?
wakes people up. We're gonna need to go out there and see what's going on with this thing. Because the killer, it looks like it showed up here just for us. It's almost like it wants us to get in and take us wherever it wants. Not that we're gonna do it, but I think
Oh.
we should at least
All right,
peek inside this thing, see what's going on.
So it's the Phantom train. Got it.
Uh,
I feel it.
So you guys are gonna check it out?
Want to go
Deckard-
round everybody up, or you just want to go after the two of us?
We did. What do you? Well, yeah, we'll go.
I mean, just the two of us can go, right?
We can just sneak up there.
We carry the rest of these mutants, anyways.
well, snaky snake, you can snake up there like a little rattlesnake.
Snaky snake.
All right, wait. So you two are gonna go check out the carriage.
Me and Deckard are gonna go check it out. Because at this
Okay.
point, I mean, we've waited for a bit and nothing has fucking happened.
Nope.
I think we go check it out.
You roll up to it. You get a.
No, go ahead. I didn't want to speak for Deckard. I'm just saying I would have told Deckard. I think that's what we should do.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
and
sneak.
Deckard, are you
I'd
following?
definitely be kind of creeping up. I would not be trying to make a ton of noise.
Do you guys want to both stealth up to it?
I'm not that
Yeah.
concerned.
I want to-
I'd
Alright,
tell,
so
I'd
Deckard-
tell
Deckard-
Deckard to light a torch. Just be like, hey, if we're gonna get into some shit, I'd rather you be able to see. So let's light a torch so you can see.
Well, that is the thing. Deckard can't see really well. I mean, even though it's dawn, it's not dawn. You know what I mean? It's like
You want
sorta
you
like,
want me to light a torch? You think we're cool?
Well, I mean, if we're walking into a shit show, I'd like you to be able to contribute.
Yeah. All right. That's a good point.
You know what?
Uh,
While we're talking about this, I'm assuming Alaric has the thing. Alaric would light a torch
all right.
and hold it for him
Okay,
to help
takes it.
Deckard.
All right. So Deckard, now you see the torch cast. Now it doesn't cast light far enough to really see any more of the carriage, but now you feel confident if the two of you were to get closer, you'd be able to see. So you guys gonna go walk up to the carriage stealthily, straight up to it?
Well, I got a giant torch, so I'm just walking up.
That's like I said with the torch. I'm assuming I'm not
Yeah.
trying to wake up anybody in the surrounding.
No, you
area,
guys are like
but
a beacon across Vlaki right now with a
Right.
torch. So
with the torch. So
you're not
we're
sneaking
just
up on
walking
anyone.
up. So I think the torch is giving us away.
Yep. Walking up.
you can walk right up to the side of the wagon and nothing. Is that what you want to do? Walk all the way to the wagon, or do you want to stop at some distance away?
I mean, that's up to you based on what we can see.
I
So
want to
if
get as
we
close,
get close
as I
enough
can
that we could
to
assess
inside.
and see what's inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then maybe we
Okay,
would
so
stop
you
before
walk-
we jump in it.
Right. You're able to walk right up to the wagon and see inside without touching it or anything, and nothing happens. It doesn't move. It's completely still. It looks like might as well have been sitting there for a month, abandoned. But you walk up, and it's an actually pretty high-end carriage. It's got some ebony kind of wood, very highly polished. The horses are well. Deckard gets a little excited about this. These horses are like good stock.
Has some more wood now.
I mean, these are like good thoroughbred, high end, well maintained horses, who sit there very obediently and patiently, kind of sniffing a little bit and snorting out. That's it. Carriage looks like it could seat about 8 people. Kind of nice seating and stuff in it. Nothing inside of it that you can see from the door.
So, yeah, I mean, if Deckard doesn't say anything, Alaric would look at Deckard, just kind of out of the side of his eye, maybe we should just get in.
Should we get the rest of the team? I'll tell you, I can't stop looking at them horses, man. Back on the ranch, we used to call them prowlers.
Did you? They look real nice. Lorik has no idea what he's talking about. He's like, yeah, they're alive. It's
So-
fine.
Deckard's looking at her. He's like, Will, how many people can fit? Looking inside this thing, like, could the whole party fit in there plus a coffin?
Yes.
I'm I'm leaning more towards we just hop in it just to test the waters and see what happens before we bring all of our friends to their death.
What if we can't get out?
Well, then better them have a surviving chance than us forcing them to jump into the death carriage. Unless you want to go get them, see what they think.
Deckard,
So we could talk it over and nobody can make a decision.
yeah, Deckard, finds like a stick nearby, and in the dirt, takes like 2 minutes to write. Went in death carriage. Be back soon.
Be back soon.
Yeah, there's so much ash and everything from the burned down buildings. You're able to write that like kind of right in front of where the carriage is.
Okay, and is the carriage making tracks?
It had made tracks.
Okay.
Up to where it's at. Actually in the ash and everything. It's kind of easy to see because of that.
Deckard writes that. Looks at Lorik, says, doesn't say anything. Hops in the carriage.
I'm in.
You go into?
Yep.
So you guys both go in and enter the carriage, and it's super comfy. It's probably the best, most comfy carriage you've ever been in. As you sit into it, it kind of like settles in, and the horses kind of sniff around and kind of look. The door of the carriage is still open.
As I got in, I closed the carriage door behind me.
As soon as you close the carriage door, the horses and they start slowly trotting down the old Svalich road, and they start toting you two out of Vallaki. Are you gonna do anything, or let it keep riding you?
Just to test it, Deckard tries to open the door.
When you open the door, they stop and they look back and kind of sniff a little bit. I'd say you traveled, a few 100 feet.
Okay. We know that this thing, we can kind of control it. Should we go get everybody else? I'll tell them, hey, we're going in the carriage. They can come if they don't want to. They don't have to. I'm throwing a coffin in here.
I mean, that's up to you. If you're gonna go try to round them up, I'll sit here and wait. We'll leave the door open, and they can come back and we can all meet up and make the decision. But I'll sit here and wait, and if it decides to take off, I guess I'm along for the ride, and I'll figure it out as I go.
All right, man. Well, you want to go see? We want to see where this thing goes, and then just come back and get the rest of them.
Yeah, this is a little too coincidental for me to not jump on this opportunity.
Deckard closes the door.
All right, so you two close the door? Or are you going back to ask other? Are you talking to other?
No, I'm in the carriage. I close the door.
Okay, so with the two of you in it. Okay. So the horses start moving again, and they start picking up some steam. And after a little while, it's moving at a pretty good clip. And it travels you out of Vallaki, and continues along the road. And eventually, after winding through the forest and craggy mountain peaks, the road takes a sudden turn to the east. And then the startling, awesome presence of Castle Ravenloft towers before you. The carriage comes to a dead stop before these twin turrets of stone that seem to be broken from years of exposure. And then beyond these guard towers is the precipice of like a 50-foot wide fog-filled chasm that disappears into the unknown depths. A lowered drawbridge of old, shored-up wooden beams stretches across the chasm between you and the archway to the courtyard. The chains of the drawbridge creak in the wind, their rust-eaten iron straining under the weight. From atop the high walls, stone gargoyles stare out at you out of their hollow eye sockets and grin hideously. A rotten wooden portcullis green with growth hangs above the entry tunnel. And beyond this location, the main doors of Ravenloft stand wide open, and a rich, warm light spills from within, flooding the courtyard. And then torches flutter sadly in sconces on both sides of the open doors. That's where the carriage takes you to. Now I'm going to flip back to everybody else who wakes up in the morning and Alaric and Deckard are gone.
Oh, fuck.
You seen, you guys seen our friends?
Oh, they were here when we went to sleep.
I'll stretch and just kind of go outside the hut and look around. It's daylight now.
Yeah, it's midday. It's 11 a.m., so you get as much daylight out of Barovia as you get, so you can see.
Okay, so I'll just do kind of a walk around to see if I can find them and
You make a. What are you trying to do?
just
Just trying to look around for him real quick.
Yeah, I figured to see if I can just kind of wander around a little bit. I'll take my morning squirt and look around and
All right, make a perception check.
see if I see any evidence of them around.
Yeah, do a perception check.
I'm 8.
Hey, you pissed on yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Groggy.
yeah. You dribble on your foot a little bit. But no, you don't.
My robe tucked under my chin and it falls.
To get the lift on it, so
Yeah,
it's
to,
up.
just, keep it out of the way of the.
Oh, I had a bad visual on that one.
Love it.
I didn't know Sparkle had 3 legs.
Call me tripod.
So, but no, you don't, Sparkle. You don't see any evidence of them at all.
Good. I walk back to the group and say, I don't see him anywhere. Now I'm getting a little nervous.
What do you guys want to do?
Can we look
before
for like footprints or
Yeah, make a survival check, Thornton.
okay. 12.
12. You notice because there's so much ash and debris and stuff around, it's really hard to cover tracks. You do notice that there are some fresh tracks leading away from this building towards maybe back towards the road.
I would point it out to the group.
Okay. I'll start to try to follow them too.
All right. Juniper, Ragnar.
I would follow the tracks.
Okay. So you guys all. So you too, Juniper.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys follow the tracks around. Why don't you make you're leading, Sparkle?
I suppose I was kind of like
Or who did this?
Thornton,
No, Thornton.
probably.
Thornton. No, I'm sorry, Thornton. Why
Thornton
don't you
pointed
make
it
a
out.
Yeah, so Thornton, you kind of like take everybody as far as you saw the tracks go, which was back towards the road.
Right.
So if you're leading the group, make another perception check. Or make
Right.
a
And then can I say to Juniper, hey Junie, can you take to the skies as an eagle and see where the tracks lead?
Yeah, she'd be willing to do that.
24 on the perception check.
All right. I gotta check my overland map here because I don't remember distances, but yeah. So Thornton, you
Oh,
notice
whoopsie.
the right.
Sorry.
What?
I hit roll again. I'm sorry.
That's funny. You almost rolled the exact same. But 24 or 25. You notice the writing that Deckard put in the ash. It says, "What did it say, Deckard? We took the death carriage. We got in the death carriage.
Yeah. Went in death carriage. Be back soon.
Went in death carriage. Be back soon." That's what you see, Thoradin. And then Juniper, if you take flight and look up, why don't you make a perception check?
Not one.
As you're like swirling up in the air, you kind of lose your sense of direction and inadvertently are looking west instead of east and don't see anything at all. In fact, you don't even believe that the others have seen tracks because you don't even see them. Well, oh no, that's incorrect. You see that the tracks. You think that the tracks are going the other direction, that they're going west. Because you see tracks and you just get turned around as you're spiraling up as a bird of some sort.
Sure, I'd fly back down and tell them that I see the tracks going west after I turn back into my little gnome form.
Yep.
Well, I think should we follow the?
I think yeah.
Okay.
So, do you guys want to try to catch up to the carriage? Like thinking that they went. Well, which way do you think they went? East or west? Which way are you guys gonna go? And how are you gonna travel?
Oh jeez.
What do you think this was?
He referred to it as a death carriage, right? That's what it said.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's some sort of weapon we could use against Strahd.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I want to find them.
Yeah, I would
I'm
agree with that.
confident they won't last. I think I'd know. I'm a druid. I'm very in touch with nature.
You know these lands better than us, little druid friend.
So Juniper thinks that the tracks went west because she saw the tracks, right? So she got turned around.
I'm
So you
confused.
guys aren't
So
really
they
sure.
really went west then east, right? Is that what happened? They went west and then it turned towards.
Well, really, what happened is these wagon tracks came from the west and went to the east. So
Got it.
all
So
you see now is the tracks. Juniper got confused, spinning up and around, and thought that they went to the west instead of coming from the
they're
west
just
to the
tracks,
east.
right? We don't
Right,
know.
they're just tracks, right?
Right,
So she's
got it,
lost the
Okay.
reality in character or out of character, I guess, is that
Right.
Alaric and Deckard went east.
Well, so I would presume that she got the aerial view, right? She probably sees the tracks going to the west. Maybe should we go to the west, or what do you think? Do we have our map still?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Players map. So let's see, shit's on fire, wedding dress, all of this. Yeah. So the reality is, let me use this gray. I think this. Yeah.
So if it went to the west, it's probably heading towards Kresk or maybe the Martinovs or something, or if it went to the east, it probably went to Ravenloft or Barovia, right?
I mean, out of character, I mean, I feel like it would make sense to go towards Ravenloft, but
I would kind of think it's a death carriage. I mean, honestly, but
That wouldn't be a bad conclusion to draw.
yeah.
All right. So what do you guys want to? What do you want to do?
is that your advice, Dan? You think Ravenloft?
I'm not giving advice.
Yeah, what would you
What would you recommend if you were us, Dan? What would you recommend? In Madden, when you hit the Ask Madden button,
Right.
Halfback
you're
toss
just-
left.
Yeah, it never fucking works.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of do feel like it's probably
Ragnar would grumble that he would just want to go back to the castle.
You want to go back to the castle?
Yeah, none of this makes sense. I don't know why those two would leave and why they would leave a note like that. So Ragnar's just grumbling and shaking his head. I don't know why they would leave such a vague note, but I would head to the castle.
All right. I think we probably know if it's a death carriage. We know whose house we just left from. We know that we left in a ruckus with the alarms and took all the transportation stones and shit.
Yeah, Death Carriage would make me think that they've been kidnapped and we're able to write a note quickly.
So here's our options then. I could try to put together that teleportation circle and get there first, or get there quicker, or we just try to catch up with them.
But if you teleport us, we're going to be on his balcony again, right?
Right, same spot. Which he probably knows we got there before.
I don't know if I love that.
I know. Probably safer not to. But I don't know if we don't, how do we get up in there anyway? We're going to have to go through the front doors or what? I don't think we have a good option.
I think events have been set in motion that cannot be undone.
Nice.
This is like Final Fantasy VI in the Phoenix Cave when you have to split the party.
So are we going to follow on foot?
Went through the Omega relay. So what, do you want to try to catch up to the carriage in some way, like traveling fast, or do you want to try to do the teleportation thing or go somewhere else? Now, I mean, you guys don't know that they were in a slow moving carriage, but if you were trying to make haste, how would you, however, let me know what you're doing.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us. Juniper, we could probably, I can make a couple of us fly. If maybe you can help carry somebody on
I would really
wings.
prefer not to, because that would be my second wild shape of the day. And that's it for me.
Oop,
Did you
oopsie.
wild shape already?
Yeah, I had to turn into a bird to do that check.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oops, oopsie poopsie.
Just bring out the ram. Bring the fucking ram out and let's just go, because now events are in motion that cannot be undone. Let's just go.
Yeah, I
Gordon
could make a
starts to
couple of
wonder.
flying people could ride on the ram.
Thorin starts to wonder if Ragnar's being possessed because he keeps saying things are in motion that can't be undone.
Ragnar's just had it with this group.
Things are in motion that cannot be undone.
You have no power here.
I would certainly cast Find Steed. It does take 10 minutes, so if we want to just hang out.
Oh, that sucks. Forget it then.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the so this is somewhat in parallel, right? So this isn't like, they started, this carriage started moving and then you guys woke up. It's not like the carriage got to Ravenloft and then you guys woke up. So you do have catch up time here. So just to kind of fast forward things, let's say if that's your intention, the 10 minutes to summon the steed is nothing. A carriage is going to move kind of slow than like a full run mount, right? So if you guys figure out some fast speed kind of thing, I would let you catch up with the carriage, let's say. But
All right, so
you gotta explain to me what that is.
All right, I got you, Big Daddy. So Holyfield's going to carry 2. So Holyfield could carry me and Ragnar. And then if Spargle can you fucking do something?
He can fly. He can fly.
Oh,
Can
flying
you-
is gonna be fast.
Can you carry Junie?
Yeah. Well, I can.
All right.
She's
Yeah, I
tiny. She's like a.
Yeah,
She-
I'm very
she's-
portable.
She's.
Well, you
I-
can make her fly as well, right? Can't you
Yeah,
touch
that's what I
another
was
target
thinking.
and
I
they
can
can
put
fly?
them
You
fly.
to say you can throw me.
Okay. Is that your guys' game plan?
I think so.
I
Final
think
answer.
so. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, just for the sake of time, because I know it's getting kind of late. That works. You guys cast Holyfield, you cast Fly. You see this thing written in the ash that Deckard and Alaric had left. You don't know what it means, but you feel obligated to catch up or to catch them, or you feel like maybe they're trapped and being taken somewhere. So you speed along, following the tracks. Now, Juniper got a good read on him, even though she got confused and looked in the wrong direction. She's got like eagle eyes now, almost literally as a druid, on these tracks. So it's not hard to follow. Again, because they're deep wagon wheels on a muddy road coming out of an burnt down town. So it winds around and around, and it takes you a few hours, 3 or 4 hours of flying at full speed, and you don't see anything, and then eventually you see the peaks of Ravenloft, and you're like, oh no, and you guys start to feel like for sure they're trapped, they're done, right? But as you're Spargle and Juniper like weaving in and out right above Thoradin, who's riding Holyfield with Ragnar on the back. So you got these 2 dwarves on this big, mangled, mangy, decaying looking war ram. You guys are tearing down the old Svalich road, and you see Ravenloft first, and you're actually focused on that, and then you see this carriage parked right at the front of the castle, where there's a little drawbridge going across to the big entryway. What do you want to do?
Is there anything by the carriage or near the carriage? Or...
No, it's just sitting there. This really pristine looking, elegant, high-end black carriage with these 2 beautiful black mare horses.
I'll fly down towards Thoradin and Ragnar and tell them there's the carriage right up there, but I don't see Deckard or Alaric. And it's parked right in front of the castle.
They must have gone west to throw us off the trail.
Can you see inside the carriage, Spargle?
I don't think I could. Dan?
How close do you want to get?
I didn't really. I'll say I didn't get real close yet. To be
No,
fair, I
no.
just,
So you couldn't see in. It's kind of like dark.
yeah. I could try to go investigate.
They said death carriage.
This might fit the bill. Might look like one to you.
Do we know Deckard's handwriting when writing with a stick?
That's what I was thinking. It could be a diversion, but
Yeah, good point. You probably wouldn't know his handwriting per se.
Oh
it does
shit!
seem like something Deckard would say, though, doesn't it?
It seems in character for Deckard, yeah.
Well, let's say after a few minutes of deliberation and kind of like scoping it out, Deckard and Alaric, what are you doing now that it's pulled up to this gate and stopped?
Can we see outside the carriage?
You can, but at this moment you don't see up and behind you where these guys are. So in character, you don't see them yet. But it has stopped, and the door automatically swung open,
Oh,
and it's not moving
door
any
open.
further. It's not.
So
It's
this
not
thing
going.
stopped and the door open.
Yeah,
So-
it's not going across the bridge.
At this
So
point,
we're
we,
just sitting here
haven't
and-
looked. We haven't looked out, so we don't realize we're at Castle Ravenloft just yet, or
You do, yeah. You're standing in. You're. It parked like in front of the big moat chasm thing that has a bridge across to the castle.
okay. So we know where we're at.
Deckard pops his head out.
Yeah, I would pop
All
my
right.
head out and I would go.
Hey, fuckers.
Strahd, come out to play.
All right, so you guys pop your heads out, and this almost happens close to simultaneously. I would say that Ragnar and Juniper and Spargle and Thornton kind of were circling around and just kind of scoping out the wagon, trying not to get too close because they don't know death carriage or whatever. And then suddenly the door swings open and Deckard and Alaric pop up. So you guys all regroup. Like say you I'm going to assume that you kind of come to the ground. Now you're standing in front of Ravenloft and there's this bridge across. And suddenly on the other side of the bridge, coming out, like just a single solo figure starts to walk towards you. Has the silhouette of Strahd, but a slightly different build. And as he gets closer and closer, you realize is not Strahd.
Sorry,
Looks like pointy,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
like pale skin and pointy ears and stuff. But the skin's a little bit more brown, and the hair is long and black, and he moves very swiftly and quietly. He wears a gray cloak over black studded leather armor, and he has a polished scimitar hanging from his belt. You've never seen this person before. And he walks across and he bows. He walks to the end of the bridge right in front of the carriage and he bows to all of you. And he says, the intruders of our humble abode. How delightful to see new faces gracing our halls. Your presence has not gone unnoticed, for Count Strahd has been keeping a watchful eye on your endeavors since you arrived in our beloved Barovia. Your actions have made quite an impact. His voice is smooth and velvety, and his words carry an unnerving charm. He says, the Count is intrigued by your ambitions, your motivations. He wishes to understand the depths of your souls, to explore the intricate tapestry of your desires. It is a rare privilege indeed. Count Strahd von Zarovich eagerly awaits your arrival in the grand dining hall. And then he gestures into the building. And his gaze never looks away from you.
Do we still have Blackman's head?
No, he's
No,
been put
he's
back
been
together.
reanimated.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's-
Okay.
Killing
He's
and
all
crap.
fucked up.
That's
He's alive.
right. He's infirm. I remember now. Yeah.
He was screaming about his god, and then he went to sleep.
Right. Like the old people in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I get it. Yeah.
He says, if you pause at all, he says, please do not keep him waiting. The Count grows ever more curious. Follow me, and I shall guide you to your esteemed host. His tone leaves a little room for negotiation. His eyes seem to hold a hint of challenge, daring the party to defy his request.
Does he look like an elf?
Yes.
Would we know that he's an elf, like an elf, or like
Yeah. Let
like
me
if I
see.
called him an elf, would he like be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, so without making any rolls, he does look like an elf, but not like an elf that you've seen in Faerun.
Maybe one who's
Okay.
been dead for a while and sucking on necks.
Sucking some necks real
Got it.
quick.
So a vampire elf. Thank you.
So I would say, well, my pallid friend, is there going to be provisions provided?
He says, my liege is the most gracious of hosts. I'm sure you will be impressed with the fare he has provided for you this evening.
Fair enough, as long as there's no beet soup.
I don't know. I look at the group. I'm like, I don't know. I think he knows we're here.
I think it's time we settle the score.
You have elected the path of pain.
You have chosen death.
Deckard
Well-
hops out of the carriage,
Oh shit!
There we go.
draws his crossbow,
I know.
He's like the mouth of Sauron. Take him out.
cocks a bolt, and walks right up to the guy.
Oh my god!
He pops his hat up with the bolt in the like you know how he can't really see my eyes, but then I pop it up. He goes, "All right, lead the way," and he follows him with crossbow in hand.
Alaric
Uh,
would follow right behind him with his spear and look at the guy and go, yeah, lead the way. I'd love to see Strahd, and just so you know, you're next.
He looks at both of you. He doesn't flinch when you bring out your hand crossbow. He doesn't even seem to like duck or look back or anything like that. He smirks at the spear that you have, Alaric, and then he just kind of nods, sort of like in a cocky way. Says, "Of course, I'm sure your threats are substantial, but I assure you that the Lord means none of you any harm. So please, if you will." And he turns around now that he sees at least two of the party, and he starts to walk into the castle.
I shrug and I start walking in. I follow.
Aye, we're fucked, lads.
So does anybody is everybody following this guy into the castle?
Yeah, I'd like to save first before we go in.
Ragnar,
Yeah,
F4, F5.
before
No,
he
I had
turns,
autosave on. It's fine.
before he turns, I want to ask him, listen, friend, before we join you to dine, tell us your name. I don't usually dine with strangers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize any of you had etiquette. And he puts his hand out to you, Ragnar, and he
Oh, wow.
says, Rahadin, the Lord's Chamberlain. Not
Chambermaid.
Is that what it's called, a Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Chamberlain is what you're looking
Yeah.
for. Chambermaid
Yeah.
is who cleans the room.
Yeah, Chamberlain.
What was it, Dan?
Did you say chambermaid?
Y'all have
So
put it
promo
in
shows
chat.
up in here?
Rahadin.
This ain't gonna come in my
Rahadin.
face. We're good.
Rahadin?
Ragnar would I guess he's looking for a handshake, so Ragnar would I guess shake his hand and introduce himself and just say to him,
Oh.
we'll take you on your word, and if you bring no ill intent towards us, we won't bring any towards you. But I'm hoping that this isn't some sort of trap set by your Dark Lord.
He looks at you and smiles, and he says, trust me, Strahd is above traps or the need for them. He genuinely would like to meet you and learn more of your ambitions here. He's been quite impressed with your accomplishments.
So
Please.
then
Exactly what somebody setting up a trap would say.
Right.
Thornton goes, meh, he's been impressed with our accomplishments, meh. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. I'm just kidding.
Because Thornton
I was
goes
gonna
like
say
this.
that's a Blackwood move.
Thornton goes like this.
All right. So if you all follow, he takes you in through this huge entryway with these ornate doors, and there's these big fluttering torches, and then in that through the entryway, there's another set of big doors, and they just sort of automatically swing open like the doors at the mall. And they reveal this grand hall filled with the sound of organ music. You continue to go through, and then he makes another. You go through this beautiful domed area. I mean, this stuff is like amazingly elegant. And then he takes a turn and brings you into this dining hall. 3 enormous crystal chandeliers brilliantly illuminate this magnificent chamber. Pillars of stone stand against dull white marble walls supporting the ceiling. In the center of the room, a long, heavy table is covered with a fine white satin cloth. The table is laden with many delectable foods, roasted beef basted in savory sauce, roots and herbs of every taste, and sweet fruits and vegetables. Places are set for each of you with fine, delicate china and silver. At each place is a crystal goblet filled with a red liquid, and then another crystal goblet filled with a whitish liquid, maybe a red and white wine, with tantalizing fragrance. At each place setting is a letter, individually addressed to all 6 of you. At the center of the far west wall, between floor-to-ceiling mirrors, so this beautiful mirrored wall, stands a massive organ. Its pipes blare out a thunderous melody that speaks in its tone of greatness and despair. Seated at the organ, facing away from you, a single caped figure pounds the keys in raptured ecstasy. The figure suddenly stops, and as a deep silence falls over the dining hall, it slowly turns towards you. And that's where we're on.
I like it.
Dinner was strong.
Oh man.
Check, please.
I will send you guys. If
Menus?
the assumption is that you'll take the letters and open them, I'll send you guys the letters, or rather,
Okay.
I'll send the letters and you decide if you want to open them between now and the next session, and then we'll pick up from there.
Hey,
Nice
Yeah.
What a-
imagery again.
What a
this,
hellscape.
This guy,
What
this,
else?
this Radin.
Yeah.
What he looks like the fucking what's the guy's name from Lord of the Rings?
He looks like a shitty Elrond.
Yes.
Oh
Elrond.
yeah, Elrond.
Right? Oh my
Elrond,
God,
yeah.
like
He
so
looks
much.
Yeah.
he looks like Elrond if he started smoking and like not taking care of himself.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
It's crazy.
He does. He
Well,
really
hey,
does.
you're all welcome that I, took us on a detour through Velaki.
Hey, you got us where we need to be, I guess.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know why the
Didn't
coffin's filled with dirt.
Strahd's got style, man. Say what you will. That he's got some serious style.
So in the other campaign, older Deckard tells all the young people in his village about the time he threw the green stone in and lied about it when he's the owlbear keeper.
Yeah.
That's funny.
As a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, in the Owlbear run, he still has all those stones in his pouch.
Oh my god.
I
And
never gave
he
those
actually
up.
uses them to trip up some of the owlbears. Like,
Oh, if we ever finish that, I am writing that in there.
We gotta finish that.
Still got the indigo stone Ragnar and Sparkle wanted to do.
And rumor has it they're still looking for him.
I learned what indigo is. I
There's
learned
never
it.
green one though.
That's funny.
I thought Indigo was a shade of green.
All these years, I've been lied to.
It's believable. All right, I'm gonna shut the stream off here.
Thank you to everyone who watched. We appreciate